Hi guys, Dave here from Gas City Gaming, bringing you another Warhammer 40k 8th edition index review. In this video, I'll be taking a look at the Chaos book. That includes Chaos Marines and Chaos Demons. So how these videos are structured, basically, well, first of all, I'm doing these videos so you can save a little time. Basically, at most little local shops, you can go in, have a look at some preview versions of these books, which is just the book itself, just you're not allowed to take it home, and kind of just look through, decide what you want to play. What I'm going to do is go through all the Wargear, all the data cards for the units, so you can decide what you want to play, but you can do it at home, in the comfort of your own home, and listening to my beautiful voice, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the Wargear for the Heretic, Astartes, and the Demons. Then we're going to go back to the start of the book and go through all the data cards in order. But when we go through the data cards, we won't be going through the attached Wargear, just the abilities and the stat lines and the keywords. So that when we do this, it's all going to be time-stamped together, so you can go back and forth between the Wargear and the data card portions. If you think there are any timestamps you want to add, please do so in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys as well. So let's just get right down to it and started for our Heretic Astartes point values. Heretic Astartes are Chaos Marines, essentially. So our Chaos Bikers, a unit of 3 to 9, cost 31 points. Let's just get the whole column in there. Cost 31 points each. Now these models do not include the cost of Wargear, so they don't include anything they come with, but as we'll see, some Wargear itself is free. Chaos Cultists, a unit of 10 to 40 now. I believe that says 40. Cost 5 points each. Chaos Land Raiders, 239 points. Chaos Lord is 74. Chaos Lord in Terminator Armor is 122 points. Chaos Lord on a Bike is 113. Chaos Lord on a Disc of Tzeentch is 100 points. Chaos Lord on a Juggernaut of Khorne is 125. Chaos Lord on a Palanquin of Nurgle is 99 points, and a Chaos Lord on a Steed of Slaanesh is 94. Chaos Lord of the Jump Pack is 93 points. Chaos Predator is 102. Chaos Rhino is 70 points. Chaos Space Marines in a unit of 5 to 20 are 13 points. Chaos Spawn in a unit of 1 to 5 are 33 points each. Chaos Terminators in a unit of 5 to 10 are 31 points each. Chaos Vindicators 160 points. Chosen in a unit of 5 to 10 are 16 points. A Demon Prince is 146 points. A Demon Prince with Wings is 170. Dark Apostles, 72 points. Defilers, 216. Exalted Sorcerers, 86 points. Exalted Sorcerer on Disc of Tzeentch is 120 points. Unit of Fallen in 5 to 10 are 14 points each. A Fetid Bloat Drone is 99 points. A Forge Fiend is 119 points. Havocs in a unit of 5 to 10 are 13 points. A Hellbrute, 72 points. A Hell Drake is 138. Khorne Berserkers in a unit of 5 to 20 are 16 points. A Khorne Lord of Skulls is 465 points. A Lord of Contagion is 139 points. Malignant Plague Caster is 110 points. A Mauler Fiend is 149. Mutilators, a unit of 3, is 65 points. A unit of 5 to 20 Noise Marines is 16 points each. A Noxious Blightbringer is 73 points. Obliterators, a unit of 3, are 65 points each. Plague Marines, a unit of 5 to 20, are 21 points each. A Possessed unit of 5 to 20 are 22 points each, and Poxwalkers in a unit of 10 to 20 are 6 points each. A unit of 5 to 15 Raptors are 17 points. 5 to 20 Rubric Marines are 18 points, with an Aspiring Sorcerer being 30 points. A unit of 5 to 10 Scarab Occult Terminators are 33 points, with a Scarab Occult Sorcerer being 50 points. A Sorcerer is 90 points. Sorcerer in Terminator Armor is 140, Sorcerer on a Bike is 130, Sorcerer on a Disc of Tzeentch is 125 points, Sorcerer on a Palanquin of Nurgle is 123, Sorcerer on a Steed of Slaanesh is 115 points, and a Sorcerer with a Jump Pack is 114 points. Zangors in a unit of 10 to 30 are 7 points each, Warp Talons in a unit of 5 to 10 are 15 points each, and a Warp Smith is 78 points. Now the following models do include the cost of Wargear in their cost. Abaddon the Despoiler is 253 points, Ahriman is 131, Ahriman on a Disc of Tzeentch is 166 points, Cypher is 110 points, Fabius Bile is 109 points, Huron Blackheart is 125 points, Karn the Betrayer is 173 points, Lucius the Eternal is 115 points, Magnus the Red is 415 points, and Typhus is 164 points. Now for the cost of their ranged weapons, so when we're doing the math later on and I say a certain model is equipped with something, add the cost of their weapon onto the cost of the model to figure out the total points of the thing, and these costs per weapons are cost per weapon per model. So if you have a unit of 5, each with these costs, you times the cost by 5 and add them onto the models. So an auto cannon is 20 points, auto gun is free, auto pistols are free, a bale flamer is 60 points, battle cannon is free, blastmaster is 28 points, a blight launcher is 14 points, bolt pistol and bolt guns are free, combi bolters 2 points, combi flamers 11, combi melt is 19, combi plasma is 15 points, A Demon Gore Cannon is 71 points. Demolisher Cannon is free. Doom Siren is 22 points. Ectoplasma Cannon is 26 points. Flamer is 9 points. Flesh Metal Guns are free. A Gore Storm Cannon is 74 points. Hades Auto Cannon is 33 points. Hades Gatling Cannon is 184 points. Havoc Launcher is 11 points. Heavy Bolters 10 points. Heavy Flamer 17. Heavy Stubbers 4 points. Heavy Warp Flamers 23 points. Hellbrute Plasma Cannon is 30 points. Hellfire Missile Rack is 22 points. Ichor Cannon is 58 points. An Infernal Bolt Pistol is 1 point. Infernal Bolt Gun is 2 points. An Infernal Combi Bolter is 3 points. A Las Cannon is 25 points. Magma Cutter is 16 points. Melt-A-Gun is 17. Missile Launcher is 25 points. Multi-Melt is 27. A Plague Spitter is 17 points. Plasma Gun is 13 points. Plasma Pistol is 7. Predator Auto Cannon is 49 points. Reaper Auto Cannon is 18 points. A Shotgun is free. Skull Hunter is 98 points. Sonic Blaster is free. A Soul Reaper Cannon is 20 points. Twin Heavy Bolter is 17 points. A Twin Heavy Flamer is 34 points. Twin Las Cannons are 50 points. A Warp Bolter is 9 points. Warp Flame Pistol is 7 points. And a Warp Flamer is 15 points. Other Wargear include Blight Grenades, Frag Grenades, Instrument of Chaos, and Crack Grenades, all of which are free. All of the icons cost 10 points, so this includes Icon of Despair, Icon of Excess, Icon of Vengeance, and Icon of Wrath. They all cost 10 points per icon. Melee weapons. A Brutal Assault Weapon is free. Chain Axe is 1 point. Chain Fist is 22 points. Chain Sword is free. Corrupted Staff is free. Cursed Plague Bell is free. Demon Jaws are 8 points. Demonic Axe is 45 points. Defiler Claw is free. Defiler Scourge is 12 points. Disc of Tzeentch Blades are 2 points. Flesh Metal Weapons are free. Force Axe is 16 points. Force Stave is 14 points. Force Sword is 12 points. Great Cleaver of Khorne is free. A Hellbrute Fist is 40 points. The Hellbrute Hammer is 52 points. Helldrake Claws are 17 points. Hellforged Sword is 42 points. Hideous Mutations are free. Horrifying Mutations are also free. So all your mutations are free. Improvised Weapons are free. Juggernaut's Bladed Horn is 10 points. A Lasher Tendrils are 12 points. A single Lightning Claw is 9 points, with a pair being 13. Talon, a Malefic Talon single is free, and a pair is 10 points. Malarfiend Fists are free. Mecha Tendrils are free. A Palanquin of Nurgles, Nurglings, Claws, and Teeth are 6 points. A Plague Knife is free. A Plague Probe is 25 points. Plague Reaper is 45 points. A Plague Sword is 3 points. Power Axe is 3 points. Power Fist is 20 points. Power Maul is 4 points. Power Scourge is 43 points. Power Sword is 4 points. Steed of Slaanesh's Lashing Tongue is 4 points. And Zangor Blades are free. So that covers all the point values for our Heretic Astartes. Now we'll take a look at our Chaos Demons point values. So again, now Chaos Demons are a little bit different in that what we're going to start with is everything that includes their Wargear. So everything starting with, I'll specify, includes the cost of Wargear in their points cost. So Bellicor costs 240 points, Beasts of Nurgle in unit of 1 to 9 are 38 points, Blood Crushers in unit of 3 to 12 are 47 points, Bloodletters in unit of 10 to 30 are 9 points, a Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage is 340 points, a Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury is 340 points, the Blue Scribes are 86 points, Burning Chariot 98 points, the Changeling is 100 points, 5 to 20 Chaos Furies are 12 points each, 10 to 30 Demonettes are 9 points each, Epidemius is 100 points, Exalted Seeker Chariots 92 points, Exalted Flamers 70 points, 1 to 9 Fiends of Slaanesh are 46 points, 4 to 9 Flamers are 28 points, 5 to 20 Fleshhounds are 20 points each, a Great Unclean One are 248 points, a Hellflayer is 93 points, a Herald of Khorne is 56 points, a Herald of Khorne on a Blood Throne is 105 points, Herald of Khorne on Juggernaut's 100 points, a Herald of Nurgle is 70 points, Herald of Slaanesh is 66 points, a Herald of Slaanesh on an Exalted Secret Chariot is 140 points, a Herald of Slaanesh on a Secret Chariot is 116 points, a Herald of Slaanesh on a Steed is 82 points, a Herald of Tzeentch is 78 points, a Herald of Tzeentch on Disc is 99 points, a Herald of Tzeentch on Burning Chariot is 130 points. Blue Horrors so we'll start with Pink Horrors. Now when we get to the datasheet, you'll see you don't necessarily have to bring Blue Horrors. According to how the rules as written are, you can just bring Pink Horrors and not have to pay the points for your Blue and Brimstone Horrors. But if you do want to bring Pink Horrors and have them all split into Blue Horrors, and all your Blue Horrors split into Brimstone Horrors, you have to pay the points for each one. So keep that in mind. Horrors in a unit of 10 to 30, Pink Horrors are 10 points each, a Blue Horrors are 5 points each, and a pair of Brimstone Horrors are 2 points each. Kairos Fate Weaver is 400 points, Karanak is 116 points, a Keeper of Secrets is 223 points, Lord of Change is 340 points, Lord of Change with Baleful Sword is 355 points, the Mask of Slaanesh is 78 points, Nurglings in a unit of 3 to 9 are 20 points. Plague Drones in a unit of 3 to 9 are 44 points. Plague Bearers in a unit of 10 to 30 are 8 points each. Screamers in a unit of 3 to 9 are 31 points each. A Seeker Chariot is 70 points. A unit of 5 to 20 Seekers are 19 points each. Scarbrand is 380 points. A Skull Cannon is 147 points. Skull Taker is 84 points. A Soul Grinder is 235 points. And a Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster is 340 points. Now, the Demon Princes do not include the cost of Wargear because you can kit them out, they're so customizable. So a Demon Prince of Chaos, not including Wargear, costs 146 points, and a Demon Prince of Chaos with wings costs 170 points, not including Wargear. Demon Prince weapons include a Daemonic Axe for 45 points, Hellforged Sword for 42 points, a single Malefic Talon is free, with a pair costing 10 points, and a Warp Bolter is 9 points. Other Wargear for everybody includes 25 points for a Demonic Icon, 10 points for an Instrument of Chaos, 10 points for Rod of Sorcerer for Lord of Change, and 5 points for a Staff of Change. Now the Questor Traitorus point values, this is the Traitor Knights. One Renegade Knight costs 320 points, not including Wargear. Their melee weapon options include a Reaper Chainsword for 30 points, Thunderstrike Gauntlet for 35 points, and Titanic Feet are free. The range weapon options include an Avenger Gatling Cannon for 95 points, Heavy Flamer for 17 points, Heavy Stubber for 4 points, Iron Storm Missile Pod for 16 points, a Melt-A-Gun for 17 points, Rapid Fire Battle Cannon for 100 points, Storm Spear Rocket Pod for 45 points, Thermal Cannon for 76 points, and Twin Icarus Autocannon for 30 points. They also have one Chaos Bastion. It costs 160 points, not including Wargear. Its options are Heavy Bolter for 10 points, Icarus Las Cannon for 25 points, and a Quad Gun for 30 points. And we'll get into the details of our Wargear. So here we're going to list the ranges, the weapon description, strength, AP, and damage, and any special abilities the weapons may have. So an autocannon is 48-inch range, heavy 2, strength 7, AP -1 and 2 damage. Autogun is 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 3, AP nothing and 1 damage. Auto pistol is a 12-inch range, pistol 1, strength 3, AP nothing and 1 damage. A Bale Flamer is 18-inch range, assault D6, strength 6, AP -2 and 2 damage. This weapon automatically hits its target. A Battle Cannon is 72-inch range, heavy D6, strength 8, AP -2 and D3 damage. A Blastmaster chooses one of the 2 profiles below. A single frequency is a 48-inch range, heavy D3, strength 8, AP -2 and D3 damage. Units targeted by this weapon do not gain any bonus to their saving throws for being in cover. A varied frequency is 36-inch range, assault D6, strength 4, AP -1 and 1 damage, and units targeted by this weapon do not gain any bonus to their saving throws for being in cover. A Blight Grenade is a 6-inch range, grenade D6, strength 3, AP nothing, 1 damage. You can reroll wound rolls of 1 for this weapon. A Blight Launcher is 24-inch range, assault 2, strength 6, AP -2, D3 damage, and you can reroll wound rolls of 1 for this weapon. A Bolt Pistol is a 12-inch range, pistol 1, strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. A Bolt Gun is a 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. A Combi Bolter is a 24-inch range, rapid fire 2, strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. In Combi Flamer, you can attack with one or both of the profiles below, so all of the combi weapons coming up, you can attack with one or both of the profiles. If you choose to attack with both, you must subtract 1 for your hit rolls made for this weapon. The Bolt Gun half is 24-inch, rapid fire 1, strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. The Flamer half is strength 8, assault D6, strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage, and it automatically hits its target. Our Combi Melta has its Bolt Gun half, and its Melta Gun half being 12-inch range, assault 1, strength 8, AP -4, and D6 damage. If you're within half range, roll 2 dice when inflicting the damage and discard the lowest. Combi Plasma has a Bolt Gun half and its Plasma Gun half. Its Plasma Gun half is a 24-inch range. You can have 2 profiles for also the Plasma Gun half, but you can only pick 1 to fire. You have the Standard, which is a 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 7, AP -3, 1 damage, or Supercharged, 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 8, AP -3, 2 damage, but on a hit roll of 1, the bearer is slain after the weapon's shots have been resolved. I'm pretty much never going to supercharge my Plasma. Cypher's Bolt Pistol is 16-inch range, pistol 3, strength 4, AP -1 and 1 damage. Cypher's Plasma Pistol is 12-inch range, pistol 2, strength 8, AP -3 and 2 damage. A Demon-Khorne Cannon is 18-inch range, heavy D6, strength user, AP -2 and 3 damage. This weapon automatically hits its target. A Demolisher Cannon is 24-inch range, heavy D3, strength 10, AP -3, D6 damage. When attacking units with 5 or more models, change this weapon's type to heavy D6. The Destroyer Hive is 6-inch pistol, 2d6, strength 4, AP -3, and 1 damage. This weapon hits on rolls of 5+, even when firing Overwatch, regardless of any modifiers. A Doom Siren is an 8-inch range, assault D3, strength 5, AP -2, and 1 damage. This weapon automatically hits its targets, and units targeted by this weapon gain no bonus from cover. Ectoplasma Cannon is 24-inch range, heavy D3, strength 7, AP -3, and D3 damage. A Flamer is an 8-inch range, assault D6, strength 4, AP 1 damage. It automatically hits its target. Flesh Metal Gun is 24-inch range, assault 2, 6+ D3 strength, -D3 armor modifier, and D3 damage. A Frag Grenade is 6-inch range, grenade D6, strength 3, AP 1 damage. A Gore Storm Cannon is an 18-inch range, heavy D6, strength user, AP -2, 2 damage. This weapon automatically hits its target. When attacking units with 10 or more models, change this weapon type to heavy 2d6. A Hades Autocannon is 36-inch range, heavy 4, strength 8, AP -1, and 2 damage. Hades Gatling Cannon is 48-inch range, heavy 12, strength 8, AP -2, 2 damage. A Havoc Launcher is 48-inch range, heavy D6, strength 5, AP 1 damage. Heavy Bolters is 36-inch range, heavy 3, strength 5, AP -1, and 1 damage. A Heavy Flamer is 8-inch range, heavy D6, strength 5, AP -1, and 1 damage, and it automatically hits its target. A Heavy Stubber is a 36-inch range, heavy 3, strength 4, AP 0, and 1 damage. A Heavy Warp Flamer is strength 8, heavy D6, strength 5, AP -2, and 1 damage, and it automatically hits its target. A Hellbrute Plasma Cannon is 36-inch range, heavy D3, strength 8, AP -3, 2 damage. For each roll of 1, the bear suffers a mortal wound after all its weapon's shots have been resolved. A Hellfire Missile Rack has 24-inch range, heavy 2, strength 8, AP -2, and D3 damage. The further range weapons on the next page are Ichor Cannon, a 48-inch range, heavy D6, strength 7, AP -4, and D3 damage. Infernal Bolt Pistol is a 12-inch range, pistol 1, strength 4, AP -2, and 1 damage. Infernal Bolt Gun is 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 4, AP -2, and 1 damage. Infernal Combi Bolter is 24-inch range, rapid fire 2, strength 4, AP -2, and 1 damage. Karn's Plasma Pistol is a 12-inch range, pistol 1, strength 8, AP -3, and 2 damage. Each time you roll a hit roll of 1 when firing this weapon, the bear suffers a mortal wound. Crack Grenade is a 6-inch range, grenade 1, strength 6, AP -1, and D3 damage. Las Cannon is 48-inch range, heavy 1, strength 9, AP -3, and D6 damage. You have Lash of Torment is 6-inch range, assault 2, strength user, AP -1, and 2 damage. This weapon can be fired within 1 inch of an enemy unit and can target units within 1 inch of friendly units. So you can fire it into and out of combat. Well, into combat anyway. Magma Cutter is 6-inch range, pistol 1, strength 8, AP -4, and 3 damage. Melt Gun is 12-inch range, assault 1, strength 8, AP -4, and D6 damage. If you're within half range, roll 2 dice for damage and discard the lowest. A missile launcher has 2 profiles you can choose from. A Frag Missile is a 48-inch range, heavy D6, strength 4, AP 1 damage. A Crack Missile is 48-inch range, heavy 1, strength 8, AP -2, D6 damage. A Multi-Melta is 24-inch range, heavy 1, strength 8, AP -4, D6 damage. If you're within half range, roll 2 dice for damage and discard the lowest. A Plague Spitter is 9-inch range, assault D6, strength user, AP -1, 1 damage. This weapon automatically hits its target, and you can reroll wound rolls of 1 when attacking with this weapon. Plasma Gun has 2 profiles. You can have a standard 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 7, AP -3, and 1 damage. Or Supercharged 24-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 8, AP -3, and 2 damage. But on a hit roll of 1, the bearer is slain after all the weapon's shots have been resolved. A Plasma Pistol has the same 2 profiles. So standard is 12-inch range, pistol 1, strength 7, AP -3, and 1 damage. Supercharge for 12-inch range, pistol 1, strength 8, AP -3, and 2 damage. And on a hit roll of 1, the bearer is slain. Predator Autocannon is 48-inch range, heavy 2d3, strength 7, AP -1, and 3 damage. Reaper Autocannon is 36-inch range, heavy 4, strength 7, AP -1, and 1 damage. A Shotgun is 12-inch range, assault 2, strength 3, AP 0, and 1 damage. If the target's within half range, add 1 to this weapon's strength. A Skull Hunter is 60-inch range, heavy D6, strength 9, AP -3, and D3 damage. When attacking units with 10 or more models, change this weapon's type to heavy 2d6. That seems gross. Sonic Blaster is 24-inch range, assault 3, strength 4, AP 0, 1 damage. Units targeted by this weapon cannot gain bonuses to their saving throws for being in cover. Soul Reaper Cannon is 24-inch range, heavy 4, strength 5, AP -3, 1 damage. Talon of Horus in shooting is 24-inch range, rapid fire 2, strength 4, AP -1 and D3 damage. Twin Heavy Bolters, 36-inch range. Heavy 6, Strength 5, AP -1 and 1 damage. The Twin Heavy Flamer is 8-inch range, Heavy 2d6, Strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage, and automatically hits its target. Twin Las Cannon is 48-inch range, Heavy 2, Strength 9, AP -3 and d6 damage. Tyrant's Claws in shooting are a 9-inch range, Assault d6, Strength 5, AP -1 and 1 damage, and automatically hits its target. A Warp Bolter is 24-inch range, Assault 2, Strength 4, AP -1 and 2 damage. A Warplane Pistol is 6-inch range, Pistol d6, Strength 3, AP -2 and 1 damage, automatically hits its target. A Warp Flamer is an 8-inch range, Assault d6, Strength 4, AP -2 and 1 damage. This weapon automatically hits its target. A Zyklos Needler is an 18-inch range, Pistol d3, AP nothing, 1 damage, and this weapon wounds on a 2+ unless it's targeting a vehicle, in which case it wounds on a 6+. So that is all of our ranged Heretic Astartes Wargear. So now we will go on to the melee weapons. Grab a drink here quick. It's thirsty work, this. So the Black Staff of Ahriman is a melee weapon with Strength +2, AP -1, and D3, and just straight up 3 damage. The Blade of Magnus is a Strength ×2, AP -4, 3 damage. If a character destroyed this weapon, you can add a Chaos Spawn to your army. Set up the Chaos Spawn within 6 inches of Magnus and more than 1 inch from any enemy models. A Brutal Assault weapon is Strength User, AP nothing, 1 damage. Each time the bear fights, it can make an additional attack with it. The Chain Axe is Strength +1, AP -1 and 1 damage. A Chain Fist is Strength ×2, AP -4 and 2 damage. When attacking with it, subtract 1 from your hit rolls. A Chain Sword is Strength User, AP nothing, 1 damage. Its bearer can make an additional attack with this weapon. A Corrupted Staff is Strength +2, AP -1, D3 damage. A Cursed Plague Bell is Strength User, AP nothing, 2 damage, and you can reroll wound rolls of 1. Daemon Jaw is Strength User, AP -1 and 2 damage. Demonic Axe is Strength +1, AP -3 and 3 damage. When attacking this weapon, you must subtract 1 from the hit roll. Defiler Claws are Strength 2, AP -3 and d6 damage. Defiler Scourge is Strength +4, AP -2 and 3 damage. Each time the bearer fights, it can make 3 additional attacks with this weapon. Drachnian is Strength +1, AP -3 and d3 damage, and roll a d6 each time the bearer fights. On a 1, they suffer a mortal wound and cannot use this weapon further during this phase. On a 2+, they can make that many additional attacks with this weapon. Flesh Metal weapons are Strength +D3, -D3 armor modifier, and d3 damage. Force Axe is Strength +1, AP -2 and d3 damage. Force Stave is Strength +2, AP -1 and d3 damage. A Force Sword is Strength User, AP -3 and d3 damage. Gorechild is Strength +1, AP -4 and d3 damage. This weapon always hits on a roll of 2+, regardless of any modifiers. A Great Cleaver of Khorne has 2 profiles, you get to choose 1. Smash is Strength ×2, AP -4 and 6 damage. Slash is a Strength User, AP -2 and d3 damage. Make 3 hit rolls for each attack made with this weapon instead of 1 in Slash mode. Hellbrute Fist is Strength ×2, AP -3 and 3 damage. A Hellbrute Hammer is Strength ×2, AP -4 and d6 damage. When attacking with this weapon, you must subtract 1 from the hit roll. Helldrake Claws are Strength User, AP -1 and d3 damage. When attacking models that can fly, you may add 1 to this weapon's hit roll. Hellforged Sword is Strength User, AP -2, 3 damage. A Hideous Mutation is Strength User, AP -2, 2 damage. Horrifying Mutations are Strength User, AP -2 and 1 damage. Improvised Weapon is Strength User, AP nothing, and 1 damage. Lasher Tendrils are Strength User, AP -2 and 2 damage. Each time the bearer fights, it can make an additional d6 attacks with this weapon. Lightning Claw is Strength User, AP -2 and 1 damage. You can reroll failed wound rolls for this weapon. If a model is armed with 2 Lightning Claws, each time it fights, it can make 1 additional attack with them. Malefic Talons are Strength User, AP -2 and 2 damage. If the bearer fights, it can make 1 additional attack with this weapon. A model armed with 2 sets of Malefic Claws can make 3 additional attacks with them instead. Man Reaper is Strength +3, AP -3 and 3 damage, and you can reroll wound rolls of 1 for this weapon. Mastercrafted Power Sword is Strength User, AP -3 and 2 damage. Mauler Fiend Fists are Strength ×2, AP -3 and 3 damage. Mecha Tendrils are Strength User, AP nothing, 1 damage. Each time the bearer fights, it can make 2 additional attacks with this weapon. Plague Knife is Strength User, AP nothing, 1 damage. You can reroll wound rolls of 1 with this weapon. A Plague Probe is Strength User, AP -2 and d3 damage, and you can reroll wound rolls of 1 for this weapon. A Plague Reaper is Strength +2, AP -3 and 3 damage, and you can reroll wound rolls of 1 for this weapon. A Plague Sword is strength user, AP nothing, 1 damage. You can reroll failed wound rolls for this weapon. Power Axe is strength +1, AP -2, and 1 damage. On our next page, a Power Fist is strength ×2, AP -3, and D3 damage. When attacking with this weapon, you must subtract 1 from the hit roll. A Power Maul is strength +2, AP -1, and 1 damage. A Power Scourge is strength +2, AP -2, and 2 damage. Each time the bear fights, it can make 3 additional attacks with this weapon. A Power Sword is strength user, AP -3, and 1 damage. A Rod of Torment is strength user, AP -1, and D3 damage. When attacking a vehicle, this weapon has a damage of 1. A Talon of Horus in melee is strength ×2, AP -3, and D3 damage. A Tyrant's Claw in melee is strength ×2, AP -3, and D3 damage. When attacking with this weapon, you must subtract 1 from the hit roll. Zangor Blades are strength user, AP -1, and 1 damage. Each time the bear fights, it can make 1 additional attack with this weapon. So the Heretic Astartes demonic mount weapons. So a Disc of Tzeentch is strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. After model on this mount makes a close combat attack, you can make 1 additional attack using this profile. Juggernaut's Bladed Horn is strength 5, AP -1, and 1 damage. When model on this mount makes its attacks, you can make attack with this mount, make 3 additional attacks using this profile. Palanquin of a Palanquin of Nurgles, Nurgling's Claws and Teeth, are strength 2, AP nothing, 1 damage. After a model on this mount makes its close combat attacks, you can attack with its mount, make D6 additional attacks using this profile. You can reroll wound rolls of 1 for these attacks. A Steed of Slaanesh's Lashing Tongue is strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. After a model on this mount makes close combat attacks, you can attack with its mount, make 2 additional attacks using this weapon profile. So next, we are onto our Chaos Demons Wargear. So we've seen all of the, semi-mortal, at least, weapons, so now we'll see the Chaos Demons Wargear details, since we've seen all their costs and whatnot already. The Chaos Demons ranged weapons are Bellow of Endless Fury, has an 8-inch range, Assault D6, Strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage. This weapon automatically hits its target. A Blood Flail is an 8-inch range, Assault 1, Strength +1, AP -3, 3 damage. This weapon can be fired within 1 inch of an enemy unit, and can target enemy units within 1 inch of friendly units. Coruscating Flames are 18-inch range, Assault 2, Strength 3, AP nothing, 1 damage. Death's Heads are 12-inch range, Assault 2, Strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage, and you can reroll wound rolls of 1 for this weapon. Fire of Tzeentch has 2 profiles, choose 1, is blue, 18-inch, heavy D3, Strength 9, AP -4, and D3 damage, or pink is 8-inch range, pistol D6, Strength 5, AP -2, 1 damage, this weapon automatically hits its target. Flickering Flames are 8-inch range, pistol D6, Strength 4, AP -1, 1 damage, automatically hits its target. A Harvester Cannon is 48-inch range, heavy 3, Strength 7, AP -1, and D3 damage. Hellfire is 8-inch range, Assault D6, Strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage, automatically hits its target. Lash of Khorne is an 8-inch range, Assault D3, Strength user, AP -3, and D3 damage. This weapon can be fired within 1 inch of an enemy unit, and can target enemy units within 1 inch of friendly units. Lashes of Torment are 6-inch range, Assault D6, Strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. This weapon can be fired within 1 inch of an enemy unit, and can target enemy units within 1 inch of friendly units. A Plague Flail is 7-inch range, Assault 2, Strength user, AP -3, and 2 damage. This weapon can be fired within 1 inch of an enemy unit, and can target enemy units within 1 inch of friendly units. A Skull Cannon is 36-inch range, heavy D3, Strength 8, AP -1, and D3 damage. When attacking units with 10 or more models, change this weapon's type to heavy D6. Units targeted by this weapon do not gain any bonus to their saving throws for being in cover. A Warp Bolter is a 24-inch range, Assault 2, Strength 4, AP -1, and 2 damage. Chaos melee weapons are an Axe of Khorne is for Strength +3, AP -4, and D6 damage. A Baleful Sword is Strength +1, AP -3, D6 damage. When attacking with this weapon, you must subtract 1 from the hit roll. A Bile Sword is Strength +1, AP -3, and D6 damage. You can reroll failed wound rolls of 1 for this weapon. The Blade of Shadows is Strength +1, AP -5, and 3 damage. Demonic Axe is Strength +1, AP -3, and 3 damage, and you must subtract 1 from its hit rolls. Demonic Claws are Strength user, AP nothing, 1 damage. Diseased Claws and Teeth are Strength user, AP nothing, 1 damage. You can reroll wound rolls of 1 for this weapon. Dissecting Claws, Strength user, AP -1, and 2 damage. Each time you make a wound roll 6+ for this weapon, that is resolved to AP -4 instead of -1. Gore-Drenched Fangs are Strength user, AP -1, and 1 damage. Great Axe of Khorne is Strength ×2, AP -4, and D6 damage. Each time you roll to determine how much damage this weapon inflicts, roll 2 dice and discard the lowest. A Hellblade is Strength user, AP -3, and 1 damage. Any attacks with a wound roll of 6+ for this weapon have a damage characteristic of 2 instead of 1. A Hellforged Sword is Strength user, AP -2, 3 damage. Iron Claw is strength times 2, AP -3, and D6 damage. A Lamprey Bite is strength plus 2, AP -3, and 2 damage. The model can only make a single attack with this weapon for each time it fights. Malefic Talons are strength user, AP -2, 2 damage. Each time the model fights, it can make 1 additional attack with this weapon. Model armed with 2 sets of Malefic Talons can make 3 additional attacks with them instead. Piercing Claws are strength user, AP -1, 1 damage. And each time you make a wound roll of 6+ with this weapon, it's resolved at -4 instead of -1 armor modifier. A Plague Sword is strength user, AP nothing, 1 damage. You can roll failed wound rolls for this weapon. Putrid Appendages are strength user, AP nothing, 2 damage, and you can reroll failed wound rolls for this weapon. Chaos Demons melee weapons continued are a Ritual Dagger, strength user, AP -1, 1 damage. Each time this weapon slays an enemy model, the bearer recovers 1 wound lost earlier in the battle. Sharp Quills are strength user, AP nothing, 1 damage. Slashing Talons are strength user, AP nothing, 1 damage. Slaughter and Carnage are strength times 2, AP -4, and D6 damage, and you can reroll failed hit rolls for this weapon. The Slayer Sword is strength user, AP -3, and 1 damage. Any attacks with a wound roll of 6 have a damage characteristic of D6 instead of 1. Snapping Claws are strength user, AP -2, 3 damage. Each time the model fights, it can make D3 additional attacks with this weapon. Each time you make a wound roll of 6+ with this weapon, and hit is resolved to AP of -4 instead of -2. So one of those is a typo. Either the AP in the stat line being -2 is a typo for -1, or the AP in the abilities saying -1 is a typo and it's supposed to be -2. We'll see. Soul Rending Fangs are strength user, AP -2, 2 damage. Staff of Tomorrow is strength plus 2, AP -3, D6 damage. Each time a character is slain by this weapon, you can add a Chaos Spawn to your army. Set up the Chaos Spawn within 1 inch of the character before it's removed. Staff of Tzeentch is strength user, AP -2, 3 damage. Each time a character is slain by this weapon, you can add a Chaos Spawn model to your army. Set up the Chaos Spawn within 1 inch of the character before it is removed. Tongues of Flame are strength user, AP -1, 1 damage. The Trickster's Staff says when the Changeling fights, choose a melee weapon carried by an enemy infantry model within 1 inch of the Changeling. The Trickster's Staff uses that weapon's profile until the end of the phase. A Vicious Barbed Tail is strength user, AP -3, and D3 damage. The model can only make a single attack with this weapon each time it fights. Warp Claws are strength user, AP -2, D3 damage. Make 2 hit rolls for each attack made with this weapon instead of 1. Warp Sword is strength user, AP -3, and 3 damage, and you can reroll failed hit rolls for this weapon. A Wit Stealer Sword is strength plus 1, AP -3, and 3 damage. Subtract 1 from hit rolls made for a model that has suffered any wounds from this weapon without being slain. So next we have our Chariot and Cavalry melee weapons, so things that things ride get attacks, and these are those. Disc of Tzeentch's Blades are strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. After a model on this mount has done its combat attacks, you can attack with this model. Make 1 additional attack with this weapon profile. A Hellflayer's Blade is strength times 2, AP -1, and 2 damage. After the riders make their close combat attacks, you can attack with the bladed axe, with the bladed axle of the Hellflayer Chariot. Make D6 additional attacks using this weapon profile. Juggernaut's Bladed Horns are strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage. After a model on this mount makes its close combat attacks, you can attack with this mount. Make 3 additional attacks with this profile. Palanquin of Nurgle's Nurglings, Claws, and Teeth are strength 2, AP nothing, 1 damage. After the model on the mount makes its attacks, make D6 additional attacks using this weapon profile. You can reroll wound rolls of 1 for these attacks. Rotfly's Prehistoric Proboscis, Prehensile Proboscis, strength 4, AP nothing, 2 damage. After a model on this mount makes its attacks, make 4 additional attacks using this weapon profile. You can reroll failed wound rolls for these attacks. Screaming Lamprey's Bite, strength 6, AP -3, 2 damage. After a model on the mount makes its attacks, make 2 additional attacks using this weapon profile. Screamer's Slashing Talons, strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. After a model on this mount makes its attacks, make 4 additional attacks using this weapon profile. And Steed of Slaanesh Lashing Tongue is strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. After a model on this mount makes its attacks, make 2 additional attacks using this profile. So last but not least, we have our Traitorous Wargear and the Bastion Wargear. The Questor Traitorous Wargear, we have our Vengeance Gatling Cannon, 36-inch range, heavy 12, strength 6, AP -2, and 2 damage. Heavy Flamers, 8-inch range, heavy D6, strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage, and it automatically hits its target. Heavy Stubbers, 36-inch range, heavy 3, strength 4, AP nothing, 1 damage. Iron Storm Missile Pod, 72-inch range, heavy D6, strength 5, AP -1, and 2 damage. This weapon can target units that are not visible to the bearer. A Melt-A-Gun is a 12-inch range, Assault 1, Strength 8, AP -4, and D6 damage. If the target is within half range of this weapon, roll 2 dice while inflicting damage with it and discard the lowest result. Rapid Fire Battle Cannon, 72-inch range, heavy 2d6, Strength 8, AP -2, D3 damage. A Storm Reaper Rocket Pod is 40-inch range, heavy 3, Strength 8, AP -2, D6 damage. Thermal Cannon is 36-inch range, heavy D3, Strength 9, AP -4, D6 damage. When attacking units with 5 or more models, change this weapon's type to heavy D6. If targets within half range of this weapon, roll 2 dice when inflicting damage with it, and discard the lowest result. Twin Icarus Autocannon is 48-inch range, heavy 4, Strength 7, AP -1, and 2 damage. Add 1 to hit rolls made for this weapon against target second fly, subtract 1 against hit rolls made against all other targets. The Questor Traitoris Wargear in melee weapons are Reaper Chainsword, is Strength +4, AP -3, and 6 damage. Thunderstrike Gauntlet, Strength ×2, AP -4, 6 damage. Subtract 1 made for hit rolls with this weapon. If you slay a vehicle or monster with the Thunderstrike Gauntlet, select an enemy unit within 9 inches and roll a d6. On a 4+, that unit suffers d3 mortal wounds as the dead body or debris is thrown at it. I love that. Titanic Feet are Strength User, AP -2, and d3 damage. Make 3 hit rolls for each attack made with this weapon instead of 1. And last, the Chaos Bastion Wargear. Its Heavy Bolter is 36-inch range, heavy 3, Strength 5, AP -1 and 1 damage. The Icarus Las Cannon is a 96-inch range, heavy 1, Strength 9, AP -3, D6 damage. Add 1 to hit rolls made for the Icarus Las Cannon and Quad Gun against target second fly. Subtract 1 from hit rolls made for these weapons against all other targets. The Quad Gun, speaking of, is 48-inch range, heavy 8, Strength 7, AP -1 and 1 damage. So now what we're going to do is head back up to the front of the book to start taking a look at the Heretic Astartes' actual army list. Now, like I said, going forward, we won't be taking a detailed look at the weapons and their descriptions, since we just did. We're just going to take a look at the data cards, the abilities, keywords, and the stat lines of the units. Everything will be time-stamped, including different things for the different Chaos Gods, stuff like that, so don't worry about that. Jumping around, also the descriptions at the beginning will be time-stamped as well, so if you want to jump around, don't worry. So, keywords. So we're not sure what Legion or Mark of Chaos are. Anytime you see the keyword bracket Legion or bracket Mark of Chaos, you can substitute any Legion in for those, or any Mark in for those. But what those do is they will automatically make it a part of that particular Legion, or give it that Mark of Chaos. So, for example, if you were to include a Chaos Lord in your army, and you decide he was from the Wordbearers Legion, his bracket Legion faction keyword is changed to Wordbearers, and his Lord of Chaos ability would then read, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 made for all friendly Wordbearers unit within 6 inches of this model. So, in one detachment, you don't want to have a Lord from Wordbearers and all the other guys be Thousand Sons, because they won't get any benefit from the Wordbearers ability because they are Thousand Sons, right? Mark of Chaos. Some datasheets specify Mark of Chaos for a unit. Kharn Betrayer is a Kharn keyword, obviously. You do not have to choose a Mark of Chaos for a unit if you do not want to. If you do not, it is assumed the unit is not dedicated to one god or any of the Dark Gods. Their abilities, general abilities, include Death to the False Emperor. So each time you roll a hit roll of 6 for a model with this ability in the fight phase, it can, if it was targeting an Imperium unit, immediately make an extra attack against the same unit using the same weapon. These extra attacks cannot make any extra attacks themselves. The Chaos Icons. Models can sometimes carry a Chaos Icon. Some icons can only be taken by units that have the correct Mark of Chaos, as shown in the table to the right. For example, only Khorne units can have an Icon of Wrath. Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh units cannot have an Icon of Vengeance. So an Icon of Wrath is Khorne units only, and you can reroll charge rolls for units with an Icon of Wrath. Icon of Flame is Tzeentch only. At the start of your Psychic phase, roll a d6 for each unit with an Icon of Flame. On a roll of 6, inflict 1 mortal wound on the closest enemy unit within 12 inches of the model carrying the Icon of Flame. An Icon of Despair is Nurgle only. Enemy units that are within 3 inches of any units with an Icon of Despair must subtract 1 from their leadership. Icon of Excess is Slaanesh only. If a unit with an Icon of Excess, its Death to the False Emperor ability takes effect on any rolls of a 5+ rather than 6. An Icon of Vengeance cannot be taken by any dedicated units to Chaos Gods. Add 1 to the leadership of all models in a unit that has an Icon of Vengeance. Their psychic discipline is called the Dark Hereticus discipline. Its first power is Infernal Gaze. For the psychic powers, you can just pick, or you can roll a d3 when you're building your list, whatever you and your opponent decide. The first power is Infernal Gaze, has a warp charge value of 5. If manifested, select a visible enemy unit within 18 inches of Psyker and roll 3 dice. The target suffers 1 mortal wound for each dice roll of a 4+. Warp Time, this is really good now. Warp Time has a warp charge value of 6. If manifested, pick a friendly Heretic Astartes unit within 3 inches of the Psyker. That unit can immediately move as if it were the movement phase. You cannot use Warp Time on a unit more than once each psychic phase. So, when it says it can move like it was the movement phase, that includes advancing, because you can advance in the movement phase. So you can advance, get Warp Time cost on you, and then advance again. Prescience has a warp charge value of 7. If manifested, select a Heretic Astartes unit within 18 inches of Psyker. You can add 1 to all hit rolls for that unit until the end of your next psychic phase. Wargear. So many of the units you'll find have the following pages reference one or more of the Wargear list below, e.g. special weapons. When this is the case, the unit may take an item from the appropriate list. The profiles for these weapons can be found in the appendix that we just went through, and that is in the description below, timestamped. A champion equipment. A champion can take up to 2 weapons chosen from the following list: bolt pistol, chain axe, chainsword, lightning claw, plasma pistol, power axe, power fist, power maul, and power sword. Alternatively, the champion can take 1 weapon chosen from the following list: bolt gun, combi bolter, combi flamer, combi melta, combi plasma. Combi weapons are combi bolter, combi flamer, combi melter, combi plasma. Heavy weapons are autocannon, heavy bolter, las cannon, missile launcher. Special weapons are flamer, melta gun, plasma gun. Pistols are bolt pistol and plasma pistol. Melee weapons are chain axe, chainsword, lightning claw, power axe, power fist, power maul, and power sword. Terminator melee weapons are chain axe, lightning claw, power axe, power fist, power maul, and power sword. Alright, so getting into our first unit, here we go. So Abaddon the Despoiler has 6-inch movement, hits on 2s, strength 4, toughness 5, 7 wounds, 6 attacks, leadership 10, and a 2-up save. He's a single model armed with Draconian and the Talon of Horus. Only one of this model may be included in your army. He has Death to the False Emperor, Dark Destiny, so he has a 4-up invuln save. In addition, all damage suffered by him is halved, rounding up. Lord of the Black Legion, you can reroll any failed hit rolls for friendly Black Legion units that are within 6 inches of him. Mark of Chaos Ascendant, from friendly Heretic Astartes units automatically pass morale tests whilst they are within 12 inches of Abaddon the Despoiler, and he has Teleport Strike. So you can set him up in reserves, and he can come on within outside of 9 inches from any enemy models. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, Nurgle, Slaanesh, Tzeentch, Heretic Astartes, Black Legion. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Chaos Lord, Tzeentch, and Abaddon the Despoiler. Huron Blackheart can move 6 inches. Hits on 2, strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 9, and 3-up save. Hamadria can move 6 inches, weapon skill on 6s, strength 2, toughness 4, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 9, and 3-up save. Huron the Blackheart and his Hamadria are a single unit. Huron is armed with the Tyrant's Claw, a power axe, frag, and crack grenades. Only one can be included in any army. He has Death to the False Emperor, the Hamadria. After Huron Blackheart has manifested a psychic power, his Hamadria can lend him additional power if it is still alive. When it does so, Huron Blackheart can immediately attempt to manifest an additional psychic power. He has Lord of the Red Corsairs. Friendly Red Corsairs units automatically pass morale tests that are within 6 inches of him. He has a Sigil of Corruption for a 4-up invuln save. He is a Psyker and can attempt to manifest 1 power and attempt to deny 1 power. He knows Smite and 1 psychic power from the Dark Hereticus discipline. His faction keywords Chaos, Heretic Astartes, and Red Corsairs. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Chaos Lord, Psyker, and Huron Blackheart. So Cypher, he is in the Chaos Codex, or Index, sorry, Index. He can move 7 inches, hits on 2s, strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. His single model armed with his unique pistols, a bolt pistol and plasma pistol, frag and crack grenades. Only one of this model may be in your army. He has blazing weapons. Cypher can use his pistols in your shooting phase, even if he has advanced or fallen back in the same turn. His mysterious protection. Cypher has a 4-up invuln save. In addition, roll a d6. If Cypher is slain on a roll of 2+, Cypher's model is removed from play, but he is not considered to have been slain for the purposes of any victory conditions. Lord Cypher. You can reroll the hit rolls of 1 made for friendly fallen units within 6 inches of him. Faction keywords are Imperium, Chaos, and Fallen. So he still has both keywords. Keywords are Character, Infantry, and Cypher. Fallen can move 6 inches, hit on 3s, strength toughness 4, 1 wound. The champion has 3 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. General Fallen have 2 attacks, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. This unit contains 1 champion and 4 Fallen. It can include up to 5 additional Fallen. Each is armed with a bolt gun, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. Any model may replace his bolt gun with a chainsword. Up to 4 Fallen may choose one of the following options. May replace bolt pistol with plasma pistol, replace bolt gun with 1 item from the combi weapons or special weapons list, replace bolt pistol and bolt gun with 2 lightning claws, take 1 item from the melee weapons list. 1 additional Fallen may replace his bolt gun with 1 item from the special weapons or heavy weapons list. The Fallen champion may replace his bolt gun and or bolt pistol with 1 item from the champion weapon equipment list. They are Fallen Angels. You can reroll hit rolls of 1 for any Fallen unit when shooting, including when firing Overwatch, as long as the unit, sorry, this is just really blurry, as long as the unit did not move in the last movement phase. In addition, Fallen units can never know more than 1 model can never lose more than 1 model as a result of any failed single morale test or any additional losses beyond the first are ignored for morale tests. Faction keywords are Imperium, Chaos, and Fallen. Keywords are Infantry. Fabius Bile. I like Fabius. I read a really good Blood Angel novel with him in it. 6-inch movement, weapon skill hitting on 2s, bliss skill hitting on 3s, strength 5, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 6 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. He is a single model armed with Zyklos Needler, the Rod of Torment, frag, and crack grenades, and you can only include 1 in your army. Has Death to the False Emperor and the Shurjin. At the beginning of each of your turns, Fabius Bile heals D3 wounds. Enchanted Warriors. Fabius Bile Enhanced Warriors can enhance 1 unit of Heretic Astartes infantry, but not characters. They refuse the dubious honor of his gifts. This is within 1 inch. So we can enhance 1 unit of Heretic Astartes infantry that are within 1 inch of him at the end of any movement phase. Roll a d6 for each model in the unit. That unit suffers 1 mortal wound for each roll of 6. Only the strong survive Bile's experimental cocktails. Then roll a d3 and refer to the table below to see what bonuses the survivors gain for the rest of the battle. A unit can only be enhanced once per game. So on a 1, they gain +1 strength. On a 2, they gain +1 toughness. On a 3, they gain +1 attack. Faction keywords are Chaos, Heretic Astartes. Keywords are Character, Infantry, and Fabius Bile. A vanilla Chaos Lord can move 6 inches, hitting on 2s, strength toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. He is a single model armed with a chainsword, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. He may replace his bolt pistol with 1 item from the pistols, combi weapons, or melee weapons list. This model may replace his chainsword with 1 item from the pistols or melee weapons list. This model may take a jump pack. If it does, change movement to 12, and it gains fly and jump pack keywords. Has Death to the False Emperor, is a Lord of Chaos. You can reroll hit rolls of 1 made for friendly Legion units within 6 inches of this model. Sigil of Corruption for a 4-up invuln, and has jump pack Assault if you give him a jump pack. This lets him start in reserve and appear on the table 9 inches away from any enemy models. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic Astartes, Legion. Keywords are Character, Infantry, and Chaos Lord. A Chaos Lord in Terminator armor can move 5 inches, hits on 2s, strength toughness 4, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 2-up save. He's a single model armed with a power sword and combi bolter. This model may replace its combi bolter with an item from the combi weapons or Terminator melee weapons list. This model may replace its power sword with 1 item from the Terminator melee weapons list. Has Death to the False Emperor, Lord of Chaos, Sigil of Corruption for a 4-up invuln save, and Teleporter Strike. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic Astartes, Legion. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Terminator, and Chaos Lord. A Chaos Lord on a bike can move 14 inches, hitting on 2s, strength 4, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. Chaos Lord on a bike is a single model armed with a chainsword, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. He rides a bike mounted with a combi bolter. This model may replace its bolt pistol with 1 item from the pistols, combi weapons, or melee weapons list. This model may replace its chainsword with 1 item from the pistols or melee weapons list. It has Death to the False Emperor, Lord of Chaos, Sigil of Corruption, and Turbo Boost, letting him advance automatically 6 inches instead of d6. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic Astartes, Legion. Keywords are Bike, Character, and Chaos Lord. A Chaos Lord on a Juggernaut of Khorne can move 8 inches, hits on 2s, strength 5, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. A Chaos Lord on Juggernaut of Khorne is a single model armed with a chainsword, a bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. He rides Juggernaut of Khorne, which attacks with its enemies with bladed horn. Wargear. This model may replace its bolt pistol with one item from the pistols, combi weapon, or melee weapons list. This model may replace its chainsword with one from the pistols or melee weapons list. Has Death to the False Emperor, Devastating Charge, which says the sheer impact of a Juggernaut charge can crush enemies into a paste. Add 2 to the strength of the Juggernaut's Bladed Horns attack if it charged in the same turn. It is the Lord of Khorne. You can reroll hit rolls of 1 made for friendly Khorne Legion units within 6 inches of this model, and has a Sigil of Corruption for 4-up invuln. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Cavalry, Character, Demon. Next page. Chaos Lord on a disc of Tzeentch. Can move 12 inches, hits on 2s, strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. Chaos Lord on a disc of Tzeentch is a single model armed with a chainsword, bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades. He rides a disc of Tzeentch that attacks foes with its blades. This model may replace its bolt pistol with one item from the pistols, combi weapons, or melee weapons list. This model may replace its chainsword with one item from the pistols or melee weapons lists. It has Death to the False Emperor, and is a Lord of Tzeentch. You can reroll all hit rolls of 1 made for friendly Tzeentch Legion units within 6 inches of this model, as Sigil of Corruption. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Cavalry, Character, Demon, Fly, and Chaos Lord. We also have Chaos Lord on a Palanquin of Nurgle. You can move 5 inches, hits on 2s, strength 4, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. Chaos Lord on a Palanquin of Nurgle is a single model armed with a chainsword, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. Stands atop a Palanquin of Nurgle carried by Nurglings who attack with needle-sharp claws and teeth. This model may replace its bolt pistol with one item from the pistols, combi weapons, or melee weapons list. This model may replace its chainsword with one item from the pistols or melee weapons list. As Death to the False Emperor, Lord of Nurgle, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 for friendly Nurgle Legion units within 6 inches of this model, and Sigil of Corruption. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, Heretic, Astartes, Legion. Keywords are Cavalry, Character, Demon, and Chaos Lord. And our last of the Demon mounts are Chaos Lord on a Steed of Slaanesh. It can move 12 inches, hits on 2s, strength 4, toughness 4, 6 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. Chaos Lord on a Steed of Slaanesh is a single model armed with a chainsword, a bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades. He rides a Steed of Slaanesh that attacks with slashing tongue. This model may replace its bolt pistol with one item from the pistols, combi weapons, or melee weapons list. This model may replace its chainsword with one item from the pistols or melee weapons lists. Abilities are Death to the False Emperor, Lord of Slaanesh. You can reroll hit rolls of 1 made for friendly Slaanesh Legion units within 6 inches of it. Unholy Speed. This model can advance and charge in the same turn. Sigil of Corruption. This model is a 4-up invuln save. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Cavalry, Character, Demon, and Chaos Lord. The Dark Apostle can move 6 inches, weapon skill hitting on 2s, bliss skill hitting on 3s, strength and toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9, and 3-up save. This is a single model armed with a power maul, a bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. This model can replace his bolt pistol with one item from the pistol or combi weapons list. Has Death to the False Emperor, Dark Zealotry. You can reroll failed hit rolls in the fight phase for friendly Legion units that are within 6 inches of him. Demagogue. All friendly Legion units within 6 inches of him can use his morale for leadership instead of their own. Can use his leadership for the morale phase instead of theirs, and he has a Sigil of Corruption. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Character, Infantry, and Dark Apostle. We have our Demon Prince. He can move 8 inches, hits on 2s, strength 7, toughness 6, 8 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 10, and a 3-up save. He's a single model armed with a Hellforged sword and a set of Malefic Talons. This model may replace its Hellforged sword with a Demonic axe or second set of Malefic Talons. This model may take a Warp Bolter. This model may have wings. If it does, its move characteristic is increased to 12, and it gains the Fly keyword. It has Death to the False Emperor, Demonic for a 5-up invuln, Demonic Allegiance. When you include Demon Prince in your army, you must choose to which of the 4 Chaos God it owes its allegiance, Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh. It then gains the appropriate keyword. Prince of Chaos. You can reroll hit rolls of 1 made for friendly Legion units within 6 inches of this model. This ability also affects friendly Demon units within 6 inches, but only if they owe their allegiance to the same Chaos God as the Demon, as the Demon Prince. Might over Magic. A Demon Prince of Khorne increases the attack's characteristic by 1. A Demon Prince of Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh is a Psyker. It can attempt to manifest 1 power and attempt to deny 1. It knows Smite and 1 power from the Dark Hereticus discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, Legion. Keywords are Character, Monster, Demon, and Demon Prince. We have our Chaos Sorcerer in his many modes. So they hit on 6s. Sorry, a regular sorcerer can move 6 inches, hits on 3s, strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9, and 3 up save. It's a single model armed with a force sword, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. It may replace its bolt pistol with one item from the pistols, combi weapons, or melee weapons list. It may replace its force sword with a force stave or force axe. This model may take a jump pack. If it does, its move characters changes to 12, and it gains jump and fly. Abilities are Death to the False Emperor and Jump Pack Assault. Psyker, it can attempt to manifest 2 and deny 1. It knows Smite and 2 psychic powers from Dark Hereticus. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Psyker, and Sorcerer. Sorcerer in Terminator armor can move 5 inches, hits on 3s, strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9, and 2 up save. A sorcerer in Terminator armor is a single model armed with a force stave and combi bolter. This model may replace its combi bolter with one from the combi weapons list or Terminator melee weapons list. This model may replace its force stave with a force axe or force sword. It has Death to the False Emperor, a 5-up invuln save from Terminator armor, and teleport strike. A Psyker, it can attempt to manifest 2 and deny 1 powers. It knows Smite and 2 powers from Dark Hereticus. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Terminator, Psyker, and Sorcerer. A sorcerer on a bike can move 14 inches, hits on 3s, strength 4, toughness 5, 5 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. A sorcerer on a bike is a single model armed with a force sword, a bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. Rides a bike mounted with a combi bolter. This model may replace its bolt pistol with one from the pistols, combi weapons, or melee weapons list. This model may replace its force sword with a force stave or force axe. Has Death to the False Emperor and turbo boost. It is a Psyker. This model can attempt to manifest 2 psychic powers in each friendly psychic phase, and attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy psychic phase. It knows the Smite and 2 psychic powers from Dark Hereticus. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Biker, Character, Psyker, and Sorcerer. A sorcerer on a Disc of Tzeentch can move 12 inches, hits on 3s, strength and toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. A sorcerer on a Disc of Tzeentch is a single model armed with a force sword, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades, and the Disc of Tzeentch attacks with its blades. This model may replace its bolt pistol with one item from the pistol, combi weapons, or melee weapons list. This model may replace its force sword with a force axe or force stave. Has Death to the False Emperor and Favor of Tzeentch. This model has a 5-up invuln save. It can attempt to manifest 2 psychic and deny 1 power. It knows Smite and 2 powers from the Dark Hereticus discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos and Tzeentch, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Cavalry, Character, Demon, Fly, Psyker, and Sorcerer. Now, as other possible mounts, a sorcerer on a Palanquin of Nurgle can move 5 inches, hit on 3s, strength 4, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 3-up save, 3 attacks, and leadership 9. A sorcerer on Palanquin of Nurgle is a single model armed with force sword, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. He rides a Palanquin of Nurgle carried by Nurglings who attack with needle-sharp claws and teeth. Wargear options. This model may replace its bolt pistol with one item from the pistols, combi weapons, or melee weapons list. It may replace its force sword with a force axe or force stave. It has Death to the False Emperor, can attempt to manifest 2 powers and deny 1. And you'll Smite in addition to 2 powers from Dark Hereticus. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Cavalry, Character, Demon, Psyker, and Sorcerer. Sorcerer on a Steed of Slaanesh can move 12 inches. Hits on 3s, strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. A sorcerer on a Steed of Slaanesh is a single model armed with a force sword, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. He rides a Steed of Slaanesh that attacks with its slashing tongue. Wargear options. This model may replace its bolt pistol with one item from the pistols, combi weapons, or melee weapons list. This model may replace its force sword with a force axe or force stave. Has Death to the False Emperor and Unholy Speed. It can attempt to manifest 2 powers and deny 1. It knows Smite and 2 powers from Dark Hereticus. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Cavalry, Character, Demon, Psyker, and Sorcerer. A Warpsmith can move 6 inches, weapon skill hitting on 3s, bliss skill hitting on 2s. Strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9, and a 2-up save. Warpsmith is a single model armed with a power axe, mega tendrils, a melt gun, a flamer, a bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. Wargear options. This model may replace its bolt pistol with one item from the pistols or combi weapons list. Has Death to the False Emperor and Master of the Mechanisms. At the end of your movement phase, a Warpsmith can repair a single Legion vehicle, other than models that can fly, within 1 inch. That model regains D3 lost wounds. Warpsmith can instead curse a single enemy vehicle within 18 inches. Roll a D6 on a 2+, that vehicle suffers a mortal wound. A vehicle cannot be repaired or cursed by more than one Warpsmith in the same turn. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Characters, Infantry, and Warpsmith. I like that curse thing. Just, hey, 2-up mortal wound on a vehicle. That's not bad. Nothing wrong with that at all. Chaos Space Marines. So they can move 6 inches, hit it on 3s, strength toughness 4, 1 wound. Aspiring Champion has 2 attacks, leadership 8 and a 3-up save. Regular Marine has 1 attack, leadership 7 and a 3-up save. Units contain 1 Aspiring Champion and 4 Marines. They include up to 5, 10, or 15 additional Marines. Each model is armed with a bolt gun, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. The Aspiring Champion may replace his bolt pistol with a bolt gun with items from the Champion equipment list. Any Space Marine may replace his bolt gun with a chainsword. 1 Chaos Space Marine may replace his bolt pistol with a plasma pistol, or replace his bolt gun with one item from the special weapons or heavy weapons list. If the unit numbers 10 or more models, an additional Chaos Space Marine may take 1 item from the special weapons or heavy weapons lists. 1 model may take a Chaos icon. Abilities are Death to the False Emperor. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry, Chaos Space Marines. Chaos Cultists can move 6 inches, hitting on 4s, strength and toughness 3, 1 wound. Aspiring Champion has 2 attacks, leadership 6 and a 6-up save. Regular Cultist has 1 attack, leadership 5 and a 6-up save. This unit contains 1 champion and 9 cultists, and can include up to 20 or 30 additional cultists. Each model is armed with an autogun. Warrior options: any cultist may replace their autogun with an auto pistol and brutal assault weapon. For every 10 models in the unit, the Chaos Cultist may replace their autogun. 1 Chaos Cultist may replace their autogun with a heavy stubber or a flamer. The Cultist Champion may replace their autogun with a shotgun or a brutal assault weapon and auto pistol. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry and Chaos Cultists. Chaos Terminators can move 5 inches, hitting on 3s, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds. Each champion has 3 attacks, leadership 9 and a 2-up save. Regular Terminators have 2 attacks, leadership 8 and a 3-up save. This unit contains 1 champion and 4 Terminators, and can include up to 5 additional Terminators. Each model is armed with a Combi Bolter and Power Axe. Any model may place its Combi Bolter with 1 item from the Combi Weapons list. Any model may replace its Power Axe with 1 item from the Terminator Melee Weapons list. Any model may replace its Combi Weapon and Power Axe with a pair of Lightning Claws. For every 5 models in the unit, 1 Terminator may replace his Combi Bolter with a Heavy Flamer or Reaper Autocannon. 1 model may take a Chaos Icon. They have Death to the False Emperor, Terminator Armor, for a 5-up invuln save, and Teleport Strike. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Faction keywords are Infantry, Terminator, and Chaos Terminators. And now to some of our troop choices, or so their elite choices, as if your army is not led by the certain god. Khorne Berserkers move 6 inches, hit on 3s, strength 5, toughness 4, 1 wound. The champion has 3 attacks, leadership 8 and a 3-up save. Regular Berserker has 2 attacks, leadership 7 and a 3-up save. So it contains 1 champion and 4 Berserkers, can include up to 5, 10, or 15 additional. Each model is armed with a chainsword, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. Any Khorne Berserker may replace his chainsword or bolt pistol with a chain axe. Up to 2 Khorne Berserkers may replace their bolt pistol with a plasma pistol. The champion may replace his bolt pistol and chainsword with items from the champion equipment list. 1 Berserker in the unit may take an Icon of Wrath. They have Death of the False Emperor and Blood for the Blood God. This unit can fight twice in each fight phase instead of only once. So if they charged, they get to fight, and then they can immediately fight again, or if they charge and anything else charged, you can fight with them, fight with that thing, and then fight with them again, because they still charged, so you get to attack before anything else. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry and Khorne Berserkers. Rubric Marines. The regular Marine can move 5 inches, hits on 3s, strength toughness 4, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7, and a 3-up save. The Sorcerer can move 6 inches, hit on 3s, strength toughness 4, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. So it contains 1 Sorcerer and 4 Rubric Marines, including up to 5 additional Marines, to 10 additional or 15 additional Marines. Each Marine is armed with an Infernal Bolt Gun. The Sorcerer is armed with a Force Stave and an Infernal Bolt Pistol. The Aspiring Sorcerer may replace his Force Stave with a Force Axe or Force Sword. The Aspiring Sorcerer may replace his Infernal Bolt Pistol with a Warp Flame Pistol. A Rubric Marine may replace his Infernal Bolt Gun with a Warp Flamer. For every 10 models in the unit, and 1 Rubric Marine may replace his Infernal Bolt Gun with a Soul Reaper Cannon. 1 Rubric Marine may take an Icon of Flame. They have Death to the False Emperor, All is Dust, which says, add 1 to the saving throws for Rubric Marines if the attack has a damage characteristic of 1. In addition, the -1 modifier to hit rolls for moving and shooting with a heavy weapon does not apply to Rubric Marines. They have Favorite of Tzeentch for a 5-up invuln save. So Psyker, An aspiring sorcerer can attempt to manifest one psychic power for each friendly psychic phase and attempt to deny one power in each psychic phase. He knows Smite, psychic power. When an aspiring sorcerer manifests the Smite psychic power, if he inflicts one mortal wound instead of D3, or D3 wounds instead of D6, if the result of the psychic phase is 10 or more. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry, Psyker, and Rubric Marines. Go on to our Plague Marines, my personal favorite. They can move 5 inches, hit on 3s, Strength 4, Toughness 5, 1 wound. The champion has 2 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. Plague Marine has 1 attack, Leadership 7, and a 3-up save. The unit contains 1 champion and 4 Plague Marines. It can include up to 2, 5, 10, or 15 additional. Each model is armed with a Plague Knife, Bolt Gun, Blight Grenades, and Crack Grenades. The Plague Champion is also armed with a Bolt Pistol. Wargear options: up to 2 Plague Marines may take a Plasma Pistol or replace their Bolt Gun with a Blight Launcher or 1 item from the Special Weapons list. The Plague Champion may replace his Plague Knife with a Plague Sword. The Plague Champion may replace his Bolt Pistol and Bolt Gun with a Power Fist and a Plasma Gun, or with items from the Champion Equipment list. 1 Plague Marine in the unit may take an Icon of Despair. Abilities are Death to the False Emperor and Disgustingly Resilient. Each time a model in this unit loses a wound, roll a d6. On a roll of 5 or 6, the model does not lose the wound. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry and Plague Marines. Noise Marines can move 6 inches, hit on 3s, Strength Toughness 4, 1 wound. Champion has 3 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. Regular Noise Marine has 2 attacks, Leadership 7, and a 3-up save. This unit contains 1 champion and 4 Noise Marines, can include up to 5, 10, or 15 additional. Each model is armed with a Bolt Gun, Bolt Pistol, Frag, and Crack Grenades. Any model may replace its Bolt Gun with a Chainsword or Sonic Blaster. 1 Noise Marine may replace his Bolt Gun with a Blastmaster. If the unit numbers 10 or more models, a second Marine may do this. The Noise Champion may replace his Bolt Pistol and Bolt Gun with items from the Champion's Equipment list. The Noise Champion may take a Doom Siren. 1 Noise Marine may take an Icon of Excess. They have Death of the False Emperor and Music of the Apocalypse. Each time a model in this unit is slain, it is driven to make 1 last attack before succumbing to its injuries. Do not remove the slain model yet. After the attacking unit has finished making all its attacks, the slain model can make a shooting attack with one of its ranged weapons or throw a grenade, even if the model is within 1 inch of the enemy. The slain model is then removed as a casualty as normal. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry and Noise Marine. So they get 1 last attack, which is pretty good too. We have our Chosen. Chosen can move 6 inches, hit on 3s, Strength 4, Toughness 4, 1 wound. The champion has 3 attacks, Leadership 9, a 3-up save. Regular Chosen has 2 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. This unit contains 1 champion and 4 Chosen, can contain up to 5 additional Chosen. Each model is armed with a Bolt Gun, Bolt Pistol, Frag, and Crack Grenades. Any model may replace its Bolt Gun with a Chainsword. Up to 4 Chosen may choose one of the following options. Replaces Bolt Pistol with a Plasma Pistol, replaces Bolt Gun with 1 or more of the combi weapons, special weapons, or melee weapons lists, replaces Bolt Gun and Bolt Pistol with 2 Lightning Claws. An additional Chosen may replace his Bolt Gun with 1 item from the special weapons or heavy weapons list. The Chosen Champion may replace his Bolt Gun and Bolt Pistol with items from the Champion Equipment list. 1 model may take a Chaos Icon. Abilities are Death to the False Emperor. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry and Chosen. Possessed. Possessed can move 7 inches, hit on 3s, Strength 5, Toughness 4, 1 wound, a star for attacks, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. This unit contains 5 Possessed, can include up to 5, 10, or 15 additional Possessed. Each model attacks with horrifying mutations. Warrior options are 1 model may take a Chaos Icon. They have Death to the False Emperor and Demonic, giving them a 5-up invuln save. Writhing Tentacles. Roll a d3 when a unit of Possessed is selected to attack in the fight phase. The result is the attack's characteristic of each model in the unit. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry, Demon, and Possessed. I have a Hellbrute. Can move 8 inches, hitting on 3s, Strength 6, Toughness 7, 8 wounds, 4 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. This unit contains 1 Hellbrute equipped with a Multi-Melta and a Hellbrute Fist. Warrior options. This model may replace its Multi-Melta with a second Hellbrute Fist, or a Twin Heavy Bolter, Twin Las Cannon, Hellbrute Plasma Cannon, or Reaper Auto Cannon. This model may replace 1 Hellbrute Fist with a Missile Launcher. This model may replace its Hellbrute Fist with a Hellbrute Hammer or Power Scourge. This model may incorporate a Combi Bolter or Heavy Flamer into each Hellbrute Fist. It is Crazed. At the end of any phase in which this model suffered any unsaved wounds or mortal wounds, roll a d6. On a roll of 6, this model immediately makes a shooting attack as if it were your shooting phase if there are no enemies within 1 inch, or piles in and fights as if it were the fight phase if there are enemies within 1 inch. If there is no visible target within range, nothing happens. Battering Onslaught. Add 1 to the model's attacks characteristic if it is equipped with 2 melee weapons. Explodes. Models within 3 inches suffer d3 mortal wounds if it explodes. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Vehicle and Hellbrute. Our Mutilators can move 4 inches. They hit on 3s, Strength 5, Toughness 4, 3 wounds, 3 attacks, Leadership 8, and 2-up save. This unit contains 3 Mutilators, each armed with flesh metal weapons. They have abilities: Death to the False Emperor, Flesh metal weapons. When a unit of Mutilators is chosen to fight, roll 3d3, one after the other. For that fight, the first roll is added to the Mutilator's strength for the unit's attacks, the second roll is AP for that unit's attacks, and the third roll is damage for that attacks. For example, if the rolls were 1, followed by a 3, followed by a 2, then all the unit's attacks for that fight would have a strength of +1, AP of -3, and damage of 2. Demonic, they have a 5-up invuln save. Teleport Strike as well. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry, Cult of Destruction, and Demon and Mutilators. Chaos Rhino. As a damage table, starts at 10 wounds, can move 12 inches, bliss skill 3 and 3 attacks. 3 to 5 wounds, it moves 6 inches, has bliss skill of 4 and d3 attacks. 1 to 2 wounds remaining, it moves 3 inches, bliss skill of 5 and 1 attack. This model, Chaos Rhino, is a single model equipped with a combi bolter. This model may take a Havoc Launcher and or 1 item from the combi weapons list. Self-repair, roll a d6 at the start of each of your turns. On a 6, the model heals 1 wound. Has smoke launchers, once per game in the shooting phase. This model can use its smoke launchers until your next shooting phase. Your opponent must subtract 1 from all hit rolls for ranged weapons made that target this vehicle. And if it explodes, units within 6 inches suffer d3 mortal wounds. And it can transport 10 Legion infantry models. It cannot, however, transport Terminator, Cult of Destruction, or Jump Pack models. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Vehicle, Transport, and Chaos Rhino. Chaos Bikers can move 14 inches. Hit on 3s, Strength 4, Toughness 5, 2 wounds. Champion has 2 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. Regular Biker has 1 attack, Leadership 7, and a 3-up save. This unit contains 1 Biker and 1 Champion and 2 Bikers, and can contain up to 3 or 6 additional Bikers. Each model is armed with a bolt pistol, frag and crack grenades, and rides a bike equipped with a combi bolter. Any Chaos Biker may replace his bolt pistol with a chainsword. The Chaos Biker Champion may replace his bolt pistol with 1 from the Champion equipment list. Up to 2 Chaos Bikers may either take 1 additional item from the special weapons list, or replace their bike's combi bolter with 1 item from the special weapons list. 1 model may take a Chaos icon. It has Death to the False Emperor and Turbo Boost. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Biker and Chaos Bikers. Our Raptors can move 12 inches, hit on 3s, Strength 4, Toughness 4, 1 wound. Champion has 2 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. Raptor has 1 attack, Leadership 7, and a 3-up save. This unit contains 1 Champion and 4 Raptors, can include up to 5 additional or 10 additional Raptors. Each model is armed with a bolt pistol, chainsword, frag, and crack grenades. Up to 2 Raptors may replace their bolt pistol and chainsword with a plasma pistol and chainsword, or with 1 item from the special weapons list. The Raptor Champion may replace his bolt pistol and chainsword with 1 item from the Champion equipment list. 1 model may take a Chaos icon. They have Death to the False Emperor, Fearsome Visage, add 1 to the morale tests of any enemy within 1 inch of this unit, and Raptor Strike. During deployment, you can set up the unit high in the skies, and at the end of every movement phase, they can arrive on the battlefield as long as they are more than 9 inches away from any enemy units. They have faction keyword Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry, Jump Pack, Fly, and Raptors. And then we have our Warp Talons. Warp Talons can move 12 inches, hit on 3s, Strength 4, Toughness 4, 1 wound. Champion has 2 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. Regular Warp Talon has 1 attack, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. This unit has 1 Champion and 4 Warp Talons, and can include up to 5 additional. Death to the False Emperor. They have Demonic, so all models have a 5-up invuln save. They also have Warp Flame Strike. When you set up this unit during a phase, it can be set up in low orbit, ready to strike. Instead of being placed on the battlefield, if it is, it can use Warp Flame Strike to arrive on the battlefield at the end of your movement phases. When it does so, set up the unit anywhere that is more than 9 inches away from any enemy models. In addition, enemy units cannot overwatch against units in the same turn that they arrived from Warp Flame Strike. So that's pretty good. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry, Demon, Jump Pack, Fly, and Warp Talons. Our Chaos Spawn can move 7 inches, have weapon skill of 4+, Noblest skill, Strength 5, Toughness 5, 4 wounds, D6 attacks, Leadership 9, and 5 up save. The unit contains 1 spawn. It can include 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 additional spawn. Each spawn attacks with hideous mutations. They are fearsome. Enemy models within 1 inch of any Chaos Spawn must subtract 1 from their leadership. They are mutated beyond reason. When a unit of Chaos Spawn makes its close combat attacks, roll a d3 and consult the table below. On a 1, the hideous mutations of all Chaos Spawn in the unit have an AP of -4 until the end of the fight phase. On a 2, each Chaos Spawn in the unit adds 2 to the attack's characteristic until the end of the fight phase. On a 3, you can reroll failed wound rolls for this unit until the end of the fight phase. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Beast and Chaos Spawn. A Helldrake starts 12 wounds, and from 7 to 12 wounds, it can move 30 inches. Weapon skill 3+ and 4 attacks. On a 4 to 6 wounds remaining, it can move 20 inches. Weapon skill hitting on 4+ and 3 attacks. From 1 to 3 wounds remaining, it can move 10 inches, hits on a 5+ and 2 attacks. It's a single model equipped with Hades autocannon and Helldrake claws. This model may replace its Hades autocannon with a Bale Flamer. It's demonic for a 5-up invuln save. The rest of its stat line includes his Bliss skill of hitting a 4+, Strength 7, Toughness 7, 12 wounds, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. It has Infernal Regeneration. At the beginning of each of your turns, this model heals 1 wound. Crash and Burn. If this model is reduced to 0 wounds, roll a d6 before removing the model from the battlefield. On a 6, it crashes in a fire explosion, and each unit within 6 inches suffers d3 mortal wounds. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Vehicle, Demon, Demon Engine, Fly, and Helldrake. A Chaos Land Raider starts at 16 wounds, and from 9 to 16 wounds remaining can move 10 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 3 and 6 attacks. From 5 to 8 wounds remaining, it can move 5 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 4 and d6 attacks. And from 1 to 4 wounds remaining, it can move 3 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 5 and 1 attack. Its weapon skill is 6+, Strength 8, Toughness 8, 16 wounds, Leadership 9, and a 2-up save. Chaos Land Raider is a single model equipped with Twin Heavy Bolter, 2 Twin Las Cannons, and Smoke Launchers. This model may take a Havoc Launcher and or 1 item from the Combi Weapons list. It has Smoke Launchers, Demonic Machine Spirit, so it ignores the -1 hit modifier for moving and shooting with heavy weapons for this model. And it explodes. Units within 6 inches suffers d6 mortal wounds. This model can transport 10 Legion infantry models. Each Terminator and Jump Pack model takes up the space of 2, and each Cult of Destruction model takes up the space of 3. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Vehicle, Transport, Chaos Land Raider. So we have our Chaos Predator. They start at 11 wounds, and from 7 to 11 wounds left, they can move 12 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 3s and 3 attacks. 3 to 6 wounds remaining, they can move 6 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 4s and d3 attacks. From 1 to 2 wounds remaining, they move 3 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 5s and 1 attack. It's a single model equipped with a Predator autocannon. It may replace its Predator autocannon with a Twin Las Cannon. This model may take either 2 heavy bolters or 2 las cannons. This model may take a Havoc Launcher and or 1 item from the Combi Weapons list. Has Smoke Launchers and explodes with units within 6 inches suffering d3 mortal wounds. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, Legion. Keywords are Vehicle and Chaos Predator. Chaos Vindicator has 11 wounds, and from 6 to 11 wounds, it moves 10 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 3s and 3 attacks. From 3 to 5 wounds, it moves 5 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 4s and d3 attacks. With 1 to 2 wounds remaining, it moves 3 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 5s and 1 attack. Its weapon skill is 6+, Strength 6, Toughness 8, 11 wounds, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. It is a single model equipped with a Demolisher Cannon. This model may take a Havoc Launcher and or 1 item from the Combi Weapons list. It has Smoke Launchers and explodes, each unit within 6 inches suffering d3 mortal wounds. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Vehicle and Chaos Vindicator. Our Obliterators can move 4 inches, Bliss skill and weapon skill hitting on 3s, Strength 5, Toughness 4, 3 wounds, 3 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 2-up save. This unit contains 3 Obliterators, each Obliterator is armed with flesh metal guns. Death to the False Emperor, flesh metal weapons, so when a unit of Obliterators is chosen to shoot in the shooting phase or in Overwatch, roll 3d3, one after the other. The first is added to 6 to determine the strength of the unit's shooting attacks. The second roll is AP, and the third roll is damage. For example, if the rolls were 1, followed by a 3, followed by a 2, then the unit's attacks would have a strength of 7, AP of -3, and damage of 2 for that shooting phase or Overwatch attack. They are demonic for a 5-up invuln, and have Teleport Strike. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry, Cult of Destruction, Demon, and Obliterator. Havocs can move 6 inches, hit on 3s, Strength Toughness 4 with 1 wound. Champions have 2 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 3-up save. Regular Havocs have 1 attack, leadership 7, and a 3-up save. This model contains 1 champion and 4 Havocs, can include up to 5 additional Havocs. Each model is armed with a bolt gun, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. Any model may replace its bolt gun with a chainsword. Up to 4 Havocs may replace their bolt gun with 1 item from the heavy weapons or special weapons list. The Aspiring Champion may replace his bolt pistol and bolt gun with items from the champion equipment list. 1 model may take a Chaos icon. Abilities are Death to the False Emperor. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Infantry and Havocs. We have our Forge Fiend. They start with 12 wounds, and from 7 to 12 wounds, they can move 8 inches, bliss skill hitting on 4s, and have 4 attacks. 4 to 6 wounds remaining, they can move 6 inches, bliss skill hitting on 5s, and 3 attacks. From 1 to 3 wounds remaining, they can move 4 inches, bliss skill hitting on 6, and 2 attacks. Their weapon skill is hitting on 4s. Strength 6, toughness 7, 12 wounds, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. A Forge Fiend is a single model equipped with 2 Hades autocannons and Demon Jaws. This weapon can replace both the Hades autocannons with ectoplasma cannons. This model may replace its Demon Jaws with an ectoplasma cannon. It is a demon for a 5-up invuln save, has infernal regeneration, and explodes with models within 6 inches, or units within 6 inches, suffering D3 mortal wounds. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Vehicle, Demon, Demon Engine, and Forge Fiend. A Mauler Fiend starts at 12 wounds, and from 7 to 12 wounds remaining, can move 10 inches, strength 6, and 4 attacks. From 4 to 6 wounds remaining, it moves 8 inches, strength 5, and 3 attacks. From 1 to 3 wounds remaining, it moves 6 inches, strength 4, 2 attacks. It hits on 4s, toughness 7, 12 wounds, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. A Mauler Fiend is a single model equipped with Mauler Fiend fists and 2 magma cutters. This model may replace both magma cutters with Lasher tendrils. Demonic, this model has a 5-up invuln save, has infernal regeneration, and explodes with model units within 6 inches suffering D3 mortal wounds. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Vehicle, Demon, Demon Engine, and Mauler Fiend. Defiler starts at 14 wounds, and from 8 to 14 wounds it can move 8 inches, bliss skill hitting on 4s, and 3 attacks. From 4 to 7 wounds remaining, it moves 6 inches, hitting on 5s and 3 attacks. From 1 to 3 wounds remaining, it moves 4 inches, hitting on 5s and D3 attacks. Defiler is a single model equipped with a battle cannon, a Reaper autocannon, a twin heavy flamer, and Defiler claws. This model may replace its twin heavy flamer with a Havoc launcher or Defiler scourge. This model may replace its Reaper autocannon with twin heavy bolter or twin las cannon. This model may take an item from the combi weapons list. It is demonic for a 5-up invuln save, it has infernal regeneration, smoke launchers, and explodes units within 6 inches suffering D3 mortal wounds. Faction keywords are Chaos, Mark of Chaos, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Vehicle, Demon, Demon Engine, and Defiler. You have the Khorne, Lord of Skulls. Starts at 28 wounds, and from 14 to 28 wounds it can move 10 inches, strength 10, and 4 attacks. From 7 to 13 wounds it moves 7 inches, strength 8, and 6 attacks. From 1 to 6 wounds it moves 4 inches, strength 5, and 8 attacks. Khorne, Lord of Skulls is a single model equipped with a Gorestorm cannon, a Hades Gatling cannon, and a Great Cleaver of Khorne. This model may replace its Gorestorm cannon with an Ichor cannon or Demon Gore cannon. This model may replace its Hades Gatling cannon with a Skull Hurler. Demonic, it has a 5-up invuln save. Its weapon skill Bliss skill hit on 3s. Toughness 8, 28 wounds, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. Has a 5-up invuln save, infernal regeneration, Titanic Demon Engine. A Khorne, Lord of Skulls can shoot if there are enemy models within 1 inch of it, as long as all of the enemy models have the infantry keyword. In this case, it can shoot the enemy unit that is within 1 inch of it, or any other visible enemy unit that is within range more than 1 inch away from any friendly models. In addition, a Khorne, Lord of Skulls can move and fire heavy weapons without suffering the penalty of its hit rolls. Finally, a Khorne, Lord of Skulls only gains a bonus to its save in cover if at least half of it is secured from the firer. It explodes. Each unit within 2d6 suffers d6 mortal wounds. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, Heretic, Astartes, and Legion. Keywords are Titanic, Vehicle, Demon, Demon Engine, and Lord of Skulls. So now we're going to hit some of the chapter-specific units. Now, World Eaters, anything that you see in these specific units, for example, the World Eater thing will only benefit other World Eaters, so replace anything that said bracket Legion previously with World Eaters, and you're good to go. Alright, so Forces of the World Eaters. Heretic Astartes datasheets found on pages 16 to 42 can be from the World Eaters Legion. This is represented by replacing the Legion keyword on their datasheet in all instances with World Eaters. They are Servants of Khorne. If a World Eaters unit has Mark of Chaos keyword, it must be Khorne. Similarly, World Eaters Demon Princes must owe their allegiance to Khorne. And Berserker Horde, the battlefield Role of World Eaters, Khorne Berserker is a troop instead of elites. So we have Kharn the Betrayer. Can move 6 inches, hitting on 2s, strength 5, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 6 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. Kharn is a single model armed with Gorechild, a unique plasma pistol, frag grenades, and crack grenades. Only one can be in your army. Has Death to the False Emperor. The Betrayer, you cannot reroll or modify hit rolls of 1 made for Kharn the Betrayer in the fight phase. Instead, those attacks automatically hit a friendly unit within 1 inch. Randomly determine which unit is hit if there are more than 1. If there are no friendly units within 1 inch of Kharn, the hits are just discarded. Has a Sigil of Corruption for a 4-up invuln, Blood of the Blood God, Blood for the Blood God. Kharn, jeez, I can't believe I got that wrong. Blood for the Blood God. Kharn the Betrayer can fight twice in each fight phase instead of only once. And Kill, Maim, Burn, you can reroll hit rolls made for friendly World Eaters units within 1 inch of Kharn the Betrayer. There you go, his attacks. So you can move 6 inches, hit on 2, strength 5, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 6 attacks, leadership 9, a 3-up save. I'm not sure if I said that. His faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, Heretic, Astartes, and World Eaters. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Chaos Lord, and Kharn the Betrayer. Khorne Berserkers can move 6 inches, hitting on 3s, strength 5, toughness 4, 1 wound. Champion has 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. Khorne Berserker has 2 attacks, leadership 7, and a 3-up save. It contains 1 champion and 4 berserkers. You can include up to 5 additional berserkers, up to 10 or up to 15 additional berserkers. Each model is armed with a chainsword, bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. Any berserker may replace his chainsword or bolt pistol with a chain axe. Up to 2 berserkers may replace their pistol with a plasma pistol. The berserker champion may replace his bolt pistol with a chainsword, with a bolt pistol and chainsword, with items from the champion equipment list. 1 berserker in the unit can take an Icon of Wrath. They have Death to the False Emperor and Blood for the Blood God. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, Heretic Astartes, and World Eaters. Keywords are Infantry, Khorne, and Khorne Berserkers. So next we have our Thousand Sons. So same thing for our Thousand Sons. As far as forces go, they have Servants of Tzeentch, so they must have Tzeentch for anything that says Mark of Chaos, and their Demon Princes have to be Tzeentch. Legacy of the Rubricae, the battlefield role of Thousand Sons, Rubric Marines as troops instead of elites. Thousand Son Army List. They can use Demon Princes, Exalted Sorcerers, Sorcerers in Terminator Armor, Sorcerer on a Disc, Rubric Marines, Zangors, Chaos Cultists, Scarab Occult Terminators, Hellbrute, Chaos Rhino, Helldrake, Chaos Spawn, Defiler, Chaos Vindicator, Chaos Predator, Chaos Land Raider, Forge Fiend, and Mauler Fiends are the only vanilla Chaos Space Marines they can use. Magnus the Red, big old dude. Starts at 18 wounds, and from 10 to 18 wounds he can move 16 inches, has 7 attacks, and +2 to his Psychic phase. From 5 to 9 wounds he can move 14 inches, 6 attacks, and +1 to his Psychic phase bonus. And from 1 to 4 wounds he can move 12 inches, 5 attacks, and has no Psychic phase bonus. He hits on 2s, strength 8, 7 toughness, 18 wounds, leadership 10, and a 3-up save. Is a single model armed with the Blade of Magnus. Only one of this model can be included in your army. Has Death to the False Emperor, Crown of the Crimson King. He has giving him a 4-up invuln save. Gaze of Magnus. If Magnus manifests, the smite power inflicts d6 mortal wounds or 2d6 mortal wounds on a roll of 10 or more. A Primarch of the Thousand Sons. You can reroll hit rolls of 1 and vulnerable saving throws of 1 made for friendly Thousand Sun units within 9 inches of him. Magnus can attempt to manifest 3 psychic powers in each friendly psychic phase and attempt to deny 3 in each psychic phase. He knows a smite power and 3 psychic powers from the Dark Hereticus discipline. Whenever Magnus the Red attempts to manifest or deny a psychic power, add the bonus shown in his damage table to his psychic test or deny the witch test. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, Heretic Astartes, and Thousand Sons. Keywords are Characters, Monster, Demon, Primarch, Fly, Psyker, and Magnus the Red. Ahriman can move 6 inches, hitting on 2s, Strength Toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, a 3-up save. He is a single model armed with the Black Staff of Ahriman, an Infernal Bolt Pistol, frag and crack grenades, and you can only bring 1. Ahriman may ride a Disc of Tzeentch. If he does, he loses the Infantry keyword, gains the Demon, Cavalry, and Fly keywords. His move characteristic is increased 12 inch, and his disc will attack his enemies with his blades when he fights. He has Death to the False Emperor, Sigil of Corruption, giving him a 4-up invuln. Lord of the Thousand Sons, you can reroll invulnerable saving throws 1 made for friendly Thousand Sons infantry units within 6 inches of him. He can attempt to He can attempt to manifest 3 and deny 3 powers. He knows Smite and all 3 powers from Dark Hereticus, and you add 1 to his Psychic or deny the witch tests. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, Heretic Astartes, Thousand Sons. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Sorcerers, Psyker, and Ahriman. 1 second here. Again, thirsty work. An Exalted Sorcerer can move 6 inches, hits on 2, strength times 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. He is a single model armed with a Force Stave, Infernal Bolt Pistol, Frag and Crack Grenades. The model may ride a Disc of Tzeentch. If he does, he loses infantry, gains Demon, Cavalry, and Fly. As move characteristic becomes 12, his disc attacks its enemies with blades when he fights. Death at the False Emperor, Favor of Tzeentch, giving him 5-up invuln, and Lord of Thousand Suns. He can attempt to manifest 2 and deny 1 power, and he knows Smite and 2 powers from Dark Hereticus. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, Heretic Astartes, and Thousand Suns. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Sorcerer, Psyker, and Exalted Sorcerer. Zangors can move 6 inches. Weapon skill hitting on 3s, Bliss skill hitting on 4s. Strength 4, Toughness 4, 1 wound. The Twist Bray, or Sergeant type character, has 2 attacks, leadership 7, and a 6-up save. The Zangors have 1 attack, leadership 6, and a 6-up save. This unit contains 1 Twist Bray and 9 Zangors. It can include up to 10 additional or 20 additional Zangors. Each model is armed with Zangor blades. Wargear options. Any model may replace its Zangor blades with an auto pistol and chainsword. 1 Zangor may take an Icon of Flame. 1 Zangor can take an Instrument of Chaos. You have the Aura of Dark Glory for a 5-up invuln. They are an Instrument of Chaos. A unit of Zangors may include any Instruments of Chaos. Add 1 to their advance and charge rolls. A unit of Zangors that includes any Instrument of Chaos, add 1 to their advanced charge rolls. They are Relic Hunters. You can reroll failed hit rolls in fight phase for units when targeting a character. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, Heretic Astartes, and Thousand Suns. Keywords are Infantry and Zangors. Rubric Marines. The Marine can move 5 inches, Bliss skill and weapon skill hitting on 3s, Strength toughness 4, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7, and a 3-up save. The Aspiring Sorcerer can move 6 inches, weapon skill and Bliss skill hitting on 3s, Strength toughness 4, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. The unit contains 1 Aspiring Sorcerer and 4 Rubric Marines that can contain up to 5, 10, or 15 additional Marines. Each Marine is armed with an Infernal Bolt Gun. The Aspiring Sorcerer is armed with a Force Stave and an Infernal Bolt Pistol. Wargear. The Aspiring Sorcerer may replace his Force Stave with a Force Axe or Force Sword. The Aspiring Sorcerer may replace his Infernal Bolt Pistol with a Warp Flame Pistol. Any Rubric Marine may replace his Infernal Bolt Gun with a Warp Flamer. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 Rubric Marine may replace his Infernal Bolt Gun with a Soul Reaper Cannon. 1 Rubric Marine may take an Icon of Flame. Abilities. Death to the False Emperor. All is Dust. Add 1 to the saving throws for Rubric Marines if the attack has a damage characteristic of 1. In addition, the -1 modifier for hit rolls for moving while shooting heavy weapons does not apply to them. They are the favorite of Tzeentch and given a 5-up invuln save. An Aspiring Sorcerer can manifest 1 psychic power at each friendly phase and tend to deny 1. He knows Smite psychic power. When he manifests Smite power, he inflicts 1 mortal wound instead of D3, or D3 mortal wounds instead of D6 if the psychic test is 10 or more. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, Heretic Astartes, and Thousand Suns. Keywords are Infantry, Psyker, and Rubric Marines. The Scarab Occult Terminators can move 4 inches, hit on 3s, Strength toughness 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8, and a 2-up save. The Scarab Occult Sorcerer can move 5 inches, hit on 3s, Strength 4, toughness 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 9, and a 2-up save. This unit contains 1 Sorcerer and 4 Terminators and can include up to 5 additional Terminators. Each Scarab Occult Terminator is armed with an Infernal Combi Bolter and a Power Sword. The Scarab Occult Sorcerer is armed with an Infernal Combi Bolter and a Force Stave. The Scarab Occult Sorcerer may replace his Infernal Combi Bolter with a Power Sword. 1 Scarab Occult Terminator may replace his Infernal Bolter with a Heavy Warp Flamer or a Soul Reaper Cannon. If the unit contains 10 models, a 2nd Scarab Occult Terminator may also do this. 1 Scarab Occult Terminator may take a Hellfire Missile Rack. If the unit contains 10 models, a 2nd Scarab Occult Terminator may also do this. We have Death to the False Emperor, All is Dust, Terminator Armor, giving him a 5-up invuln save, and Teleport Strike. They are Psyker. The Sorcerer, anyway, is a Psyker. He can attempt to manifest and deny 1. He knows Smite, but Smite only does 1 mortal wound, or D3 instead of D6 if the test is 10 or more. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, Heretic Astartes, Thousand Suns. Keywords are Infantry, Terminator, Psyker, Scarab Occult Terminators. So going on to my personal favorite, the Death Guard. So the Death Guard army list can include Typhus, Lord of Contagion, Malignant Plague Caster, Noxious Blightbringer, Demon Prince, Chaos Lord in Terminator Armor, Chaos Lord in a Palanquin of Nurgle, Sorcerer in Terminator Armor, Plague Marines, Poxwalkers, Chaos Cultists, Possessed, Hellbrute, Fetid Bloat Drone, Chaos Rhino, Chaos Spawn, Defiler, Chaos Predator, and Chaos Land Raider. The Heretic Astartes Datasheets listed to the right, those ones, can be from the Death Guard legions. Those that have the bracket legion keyword can replace it in all instances with Death Guard. If Heretic Astartes unit does not appear on the list on the right, it cannot have the Death Guard faction keyword. They are servants of Nurgle. If a Death Guard unit has the Mark of Chaos keyword, it must be Nurgle. Similarly, Death Guard Demon Princes must owe their allegiance to Nurgle. They are Lords of the Plague Host. The battlefield role of Death Guard Plague Marines is a troop instead of elites. Plague Casters. Malignant Plague Casters must choose the additional psychic powers they can use from the Contagion Discipline to the right. The Contagion Discipline has 3 powers. The first one being Miasma of Pestilence. Miasma of Pestilence has a warp charge value of 6. If manifested, select a visible friendly Death Guard unit within 18 inches of the Psyker. Until the start of your next Psychic phase, your opponent must subtract 1 from all hit rolls that target this unit. Gift of Contagion has a warp charge of 7. If manifested, select a visible enemy unit within 18 inches of the Psyker and roll a d3. Consult the table below to discover what characteristic penalty all models in that unit suffer until the start of your next Psychic phase. This cannot reduce a character to less... this cannot reduce a characteristic to less than 1. Just really little writing that I've been reading off the screen for a while. Flybone Palsy is -1 attack. Muscular Atrophy is -1 strength. And Liquefying Ague is -1 toughness. Plague Wind has a warp charge value of 5+. If manifested, select a visible enemy unit within 18 inches of the Psyker, roll a dice for each model in the unit. The unit suffers a mortal wound for each roll of 6. It's really good against like a giant unit of cultists or something, but I'm not super high on the discipline. Typhus, the man, the myth, the legend, can move 4 inches, hits on 2s, strength 4, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 2-up save. Typhus is a single model armed with a Man Reaper, the Destroyer Hive, and Blight Grenades. Only one of him can be taken per army. He has Death to the False Emperor, disgustingly resilient. Each time he loses a wound, roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, he doesn't lose it. Nurgle's Gift. All Death Guard models within 7 inches of Typhus are surrounded by a deadly aura of plague and disease. Roll a d6 for each enemy unit that is within 1 inch of one or more such models at the start of your turn. On a 4+, that unit suffers a mortal wound. So he has a 7-inch aura surrounding him that give the units that are at least partially within that 7-inch aura and mini aura, so any enemies that are within 1 inch of those units on a 4-up suffer a mortal wound. Yes, that's what I mean. Okay, I'm just making sure I understood that. Catapracti Armor, he has a 4-up invuln save, but he must have the result of the dice rolled when determining how far he advances. Host of the Destroyer Hive, friendly units of Poxwalkers increase their strength and toughness by 1 whilst they are within 7 inches of him. Teleport Strike, during deployment you can set him up in a Teleportarium Chamber instead of placing him on the battlefield. At the end of your movement phases, Typhus can use Teleport Strike anywhere on the battlefield, 9 inches away from any enemy models. Typhus can attempt to manifest 2 psychic powers in each friendly phase and attempt to deny 1. He knows Smite and 2 powers from the Contagion Discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, Heretic Astartes, Death Guard. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Lord of Contagion, Terminator, Psyker, and Typhus. Have the Lord of Contagion. He can move 4 inches, hits on 2s, strength 4, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 2-up save. He is a single model armed with a Plague Reaper. He has Death of the False Emperor, disgustingly resilient, Nurgle's Gift, Catapracti Armor, and Teleport Strike. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, Heretic Astartes, and Death Guard. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Terminator, and Lord of Contagion. Have the Malignant Plague Caster. Can move 5 inches, hits on 3s, strength 4, toughness 5, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. He is a single model armed with a Corrupted Staff, a Bolt Pistol, Blight, and Crack Grenades. He has Death to the False Emperor, disgustingly resilient, and Pestilent Fallout, saying, each time this model successfully manifests a psychic power with a psychic test of 7 or more, the nearest enemy unit within 7 inches suffers a mortal wound after the effects of the psychic power have been resolved. This model can attempt to manifest 2 and attempt to deny 1 powers. He knows Smite and 2 powers from Contagion Discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, Heretic Astartes, and Death Guard. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Psyker, and Malignant Plague Caster. Poxwalkers can move 4 inches, weapon skill hitting on 5, split skill hitting on 6, strength and toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 4, and a 7-up save. This unit contains tagged Poxwalkers. It can include up to 10 additional. Each model is armed with an improvised weapon. They are disgustingly resilient. They have Curse of Walking Pox. Each time an enemy infantry model is slain by a Poxwalker in the fight phase, add 1 model to the Poxwalker unit. They are mindless, so they never take morale tests. They are Diseased Horde. You can add 1 to all hit rolls for this unit in the fight phase if it contains more than 10 models. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, Heretic, Astartes, and Death Guard. Keywords are Infantry and Poxwalker. Next we have our Plague Marines. I'll scroll down later. Plague Marines can move 5 inches, hit on 3s, strength 4, toughness 5, 1 wound. The champion has 2 attacks, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. The Marines have 1 attack, leadership 7, and a 3-up save. So it contains 1 champion and 4 Marines. It can include up to 2, 5, 10, or 15 additional Marines. Each model is armed with a Plague Knife, Bolt Gun, Blight Grenades, and Crack Grenades. The champion is also armed with a Bolt Pistol. Up to 2 Plague Marines may take a Plasma Pistol or replace their Bolt Gun with a Blight Launcher or 1 item from the Special Weapons list. The Plague Champion may replace his Plague Knife with a Plague Sword. Plague Champion may replace his Bolt Pistol and Bolt Gun with a Power Fist and a Plasma Gun, or with items from the Champion Equipment list. 1 Plague Marine in the unit may take an Icon of Despair. They have Death to the False Emperor and Disgustingly Resilient. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, Heretic, Astartes, and Death Guard. Keywords are Infantry and Plague Marines. We have our Fetid Bloat Drone. He starts at 10 wounds, and from 6 to 10 wounds, he can move 10 inches, has strength 6 and 3 attacks. From 3 to 5 wounds, he can move 8 inches, has strength 5 and 2 attacks. From 1 to 2 wounds, he can move 6 inches, is strength 4, and has 1 attack. He has weapon skill, bliss skill 4, strength variable, toughness 7, 10 wounds, 8 leadership, and 3-up save. A Fetid Bloat Drone is a single model equipped with 2 Plague Spitters and a Plague Probe. He is Disgustingly Resilient. Demonic for 5-up invuln, has Putrid Explosion. If this model is reduced to 0 wounds, roll a d6 before removing it from the battlefield. On a 4-up, it explodes. Each time, and each unit within 7 inches suffers 1 mortal wound. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, Heretic, Astartes, and Death Guard. Keywords are Vehicle, Demon, Demon Engine, Fly, and Fetid Bloat Drone. You have the Noxious Blightbringer. Can move 5 inches. Oop. There we go. Can move 5 inches, hits on 3s, strength 4, toughness 5, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. It's a single model armed with a Cursed Plague Bell, Plasma Pistol, Blight, and Crack Grenades. Has Death to the False Emperor, is Disgustingly Resilient, and has Toxin of Misery. Units must subtract 1 from their leadership while they are within 7 inches of any enemy Noxious Blightbringers. Psychers must subtract 2 instead. In addition, if a Death Guard unit is within 7 inches of any friendly Noxious Blightbringer when it advances, roll 2 dice and discard the lowest when determining how far that unit advances. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, Heretic, Astartes, and Death Guard. Keywords are Character, Infantry, and Noxious Blightbringer. And the Emperor's Children, Slaanesh Marines. So forces the Emperor's Children can take everything from the vanilla Marines, so no worries there. They just have to replace the Legion keyword with the Emperor's Children keyword in all instances. The Emperor's Children has Mark of Chaos keyword, it must be Slaanesh. Similarly, Emperor Children's Demon Princes must be Slaanesh. Masters of the Cacophony, that's how I'm choosing to pronounce that. The battlefield role of Emperor's Children Noise Marines is troops instead of elites. And Lucius the Eternal. So, Lucius the Eternal can move 6 inches. I read a really cool book about him. I think it's just called Fulgrim, the name of the book. It's like sitting right there. Death to the False Emperor, Armor of Shrieking Souls. He has a 5-up so we'll go over a stat line first, sorry. Moves 6 inches, hits on 2s, strength toughness 4, 5 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 9, and a 3-up save. He is a single model armed with Lash of Torment, a mastercrafted power sword, a Doom Siren, frag and crack grenades, and only 1 can be taken in your army. He has the Armor of Shrieking Souls. Lucius the Eternal has a 5-up invuln save. Whenever you make a successful saving throw for Lucius in the fight phase, roll a d6. On a roll of 4+, the unit that made the attack suffers a mortal wound after all of its attacks have been made. Duelist Pride. If Lucius the Eternal directs all of his attacks against a single enemy character, roll an extra 2 attacks. These attacks must also be directed at the character. Lord of Slaanesh. You can reroll all hit rolls of 1 made for friendly Emperor's Children units within 6 inches of this model. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, Heretic, Astartes, and Emperor's Children. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Chaos Lord, and Lucius the Eternal. Noise Marines. Can move 6 inches, hit on 3s, strength toughness 4, and 1 wound. Noise Champions have 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a 3-up save, and Noise Marine has 2 attacks, leadership 7, and a 3-up save. This unit contains 1 Noise Champion and 4 Noise Marines. It can include up to 5, 10, or 15 additional Noise Marines. Each model is armed with a bolt gun, a bolt pistol, frag, and crack grenades. Wargear options. Any model may replace its bolt gun with a chainsword or sonic blaster. 1 Noise Marine may replace his bolt gun with a Blastmaster. If the unit numbers 10 or more models, a second Noise Marine may do this. The Noise Champion may replace a bolt pistol and bolt gun with items from the Champion equipment list. The Noise Champion may take a Doom Siren. One Noise Marine may take an Icon of Excess. Abilities include Death to the False Emperor and Music of the Apocalypse. Each time a model in this unit is slain, it is driven to make one last attack before succumbing to its injuries. Do not remove the slain model yet. After the attacking unit is finished making all of its attacks, the slain model can make a shooting attack with one of its ranged weapons or throw a grenade, even if the model's unit is within 1 inch of the enemy. The slain model is then removed as a casualty as normal. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, Heretic, Astartes, and Emperor's Children. Keywords are Infantry and Noise Marines. Alright, so we're going to get on to our Chaos Demons. So this chart is just kind of more of a fluff thing, necessarily. Not necessarily anything that's going to matter, so let's scroll down onto our next page. So the Chaos Demon army lists, the following abilities are common to several Chaos Demon units. Units with this ability have demonic. Units have a 5-up invuln save. Unstoppable Ferocity is if a Khorne Demon unit with this ability charges if a Khorne Demon unit with this ability either charges, is charged, or performs a heroic intervention, add 1 to the strength and attacks characteristic of all models in the unit until the end of the turn. Ephemeral Form, add 1 to any invulnerable saving throws made for Tzeentch demons with this ability. Disgustingly Resilient, each time a Nurgle demon with this ability loses a wound, roll a d6. On a roller 5 or 6, the model does not lose a wound. Quicksilver Swiftness, Slaanesh demon units with this ability always fight first in the fight phase, even if they didn't charge. If the enemy unit has charged or have a similar ability, then alternate choosing units to fight, starting with the player whose turn is taking place. Demonic Ritual is really cool, though. Let's have a look at that quickly. There we are. So instead of moving in their movement phase, any Chaos character can, at the end of their movement phase, attempt to summon a demon unit with this ability by performing a demonic ritual. The character cannot do so if they arrived as reinforcements this turn, or if they themselves have been summoned to the battlefield this turn. If they do so, first choose one of 4 Chaos Gods. A character who owes allegiance to one of the Dark Gods can only attempt to summon the units of their patron. For example, a Khorne character can only summon Khorne demons. Roll up to 3 dice. This is your summoning roll. You can summon one new unit with a demonic ritual ability to the battlefield that has a power rating equal to or less than the number equal to or less than the total result, so long as it has the same Chaos God keyword you chose at the start. In the case of units that have the choice of allegiance, such as Furies, the unit when summoned will have this keyword. This unit is treated as summoned as reinforcements for your army, and can be placed anywhere on the battlefield that is entirely within 12 inches of the character and is more than 9 inches from any enemy model. If the total rolled is insufficient to summon any unit, the ritual fails and no new unit is summoned. If your summoning roll includes any doubles, your character then suffers a mortal wound. If it contained any triples, it instead suffers D3 mortal wounds. So I thought that was kind of neat. Just because, keep in mind though, those units that you summon, you do have to set aside points for them. So at the beginning of the game, say you're playing a 1500 point game, you can say, okay, I'm going to put aside 200 points for summoning. You don't have to pick what you want to summon at the beginning of the game. You can just put aside the points amount and decide what you want to summon later on. So you could come and summon Juggernauts if you need, summon Flamers if you need them, summon Horrors if you need them, whatever you want to do. Chaos Demon's Psychic Discipline. Before the battle, generates the psychic powers for Psychers that can use powers from Nurgle, Slaanesh, or Tzeentch discipline using the tables below. You either roll a d3 or pick. The Nurgle discipline for demons is different than the Chaos Demon one, so we'll go through these. The Stream of Corruption has a warp charge value of 5. If manifested, pick the closest enemy unit within 7 inches of Psyker. That unit suffers d3 mortal wounds if it has fewer than 10 models, and d6 mortal wounds if it has 10 or more models. Virulent Blessing has a warp charge value of 6. If manifested, pick a Nurgle demon unit within 18 inches of Psyker. You can add 1 to all wound rolls made by that unit in the fight phase. Furthermore, any wound rolls of 7+ made for that unit in the fight phase inflict double damage. So essentially, because you're adding 1, wound rolls of 6, right? Fleshy Abundance has a warp charge value of 5. If manifested, select a friendly Nurgle demon unit within 18 inches of Psyker. That unit recovers d3 wounds lost earlier in the battle. Slaanesh Discipline has 3 powers. The first one is Cacophonic Choir. Cacophonic Choir has a warp charge value of 7. If manifested, roll 2d6. The closest visible enemy unit within 18 inches of the Psyker suffers a mortal wound for each point that the total exceeds their leadership. That's pretty good. That's really good. Symphony of Pain has a warp charge value of 6. If manifested, the nearest visible enemy unit within 18 inches of the Psyker is struck by unbearable pain. Your opponent must subtract 1 from all hit rolls made for this unit until the start of your next psychic phase. Hysterical Frenzy has a warp charge value of 8. If manifested, select a friendly Slaanesh demon unit within 18 inches of Psyker that is within 1 inch of an enemy unit. That unit can pile in an attack as if it were the fight phase. So that's pretty good, essentially giving Slaanesh unit a Khorne ability for a turn. That's pretty good. Tzeentch Discipline has a Boon of Change. So Boon of Change has a warp value of 7. If manifested, select a visible friendly Tzeentch demon unit within 18 inches of the Psyker and roll d3. Consult the table below to discover what characteristic bonus all models in that unit can receive until the start of your next psychic phase. On a 1 is a +1 attack, on a 2 +1 strength, and on a 3 +1 toughness. Bolt of Change has a warp charge value of 9. If manifested, select a unit within 18 inches of the Psyker. That unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. If a character is slain by this psychic power, you can add a Chaos Spawn model to your army and set up within 1 inch of the character before its model is removed. The Treason of Tzeentch has a warp charge value of 8. If manifested, select a visible enemy character within 18 inches of Psyker, apart from the opponent's warlord, and then roll 2d6. If the result is greater than the character's leadership, you can treat the model as if it were a friendly model in your army in your shooting, charge, and fight phases. At the end of the fight phase, the character reverts to being an enemy model. That's kind of cool. You have to roll really well for most characters usually, but that's kind of cool. I like that. All kind of neat, flavorful powers. Daemons.Khorne, so again, kind of a flavor page, so we'll continue. Daemons.Khorne, keep in mind, have no Psykers. That's why you didn't see a psychic thing for Khorne if you're not familiar with demons. Karanak can move 10 inches. Weapon skill hits on 2s, strength 5, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8, and a 6-up save. Karanak is a single model with attacks with soul-rending fangs. Only one of this model may be included in your army. His demonic, unstoppable ferocity, and demonic ritual has a brass collar of bloody vengeance. He can attempt to deny 2 psychic powers in each enemy's psychic phase. He's the prey of the blood god. When both armies have been set up, choose one enemy character on the battlefield, and you can add 1 to hit and wound rolls for Karanak's attacks when they target this character. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, and Demon. Keywords are Beast, Character, Fleshhounds, and Karanak. Scarbrand starts at 16 wounds, and from 9 to 16 wounds remaining, he can move 8 inches. Weapon skill is a 2+, and 6 attacks. 5 to 8 wounds remaining, he moves 6 inches. Weapon skill hitting on 3+, and 7 attacks. From 1 to 4 wounds remaining, he can move 4 inches, hits on 4s, and has 8 attacks. Bliss skill is hitting on 2+, strength and toughness 7, 16 wounds, leadership 9, and 3-up save. He is a single model armed with 2 axes, Slaughter and Carnage, who unleashes head-crushing blows of endless fury. Only one of this model may be included in your army. He is demonic, unstoppable ferocity, and demonic ritual. He is rage embodied. All units, friend or foe, within 8 inches of him, do not take morale tests, can't fall back, and add 1 to their attacks characteristic. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, Demon. Keywords are Character, Monster, Bloodthirster, and Scarbrand. Skulltaker can move 7 inches, hits on 2s, strength 5, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8, and a 3-up save. He is a single model armed with the Slayer Sword, and only 1 can be included in your army. Demonic, Unstoppable Ferocity, and Demonic Ritual. He has Skulls for Khorne. You can reroll failed hit and wound rolls for attacks made by Skulltaker that target a character. Locus of Decapitation. You can add 1 to hit rolls made for friendly Bloodletter units that are within 8 inches of him in the fight phase. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Bloodletter, Herald of Khorne, and Skulltaker. We have the Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage. Starts at 16 wounds, and from 9 to 16 wounds he can move 12 inches. Weapon skill hits on 2s and 6 attacks. From 5 to 8 wounds he can move 8 inches, hits on 3s with 4 attacks. And from 1 to 4 wounds remaining, he can move 6 inches, hitting on 4s with 2 attacks. Bliss skill is 2+, strength and toughness 7, 16 wounds, leadership 10, and a 3-up save. He's a single model armed with a Great Axe of Khorne. He's demonic, unstoppable ferocity, and demonic ritual. He's a greater demon. Friendly Khorne demon units within 6 inches of this model, when they take a morale test, can use his leadership instead of their own. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Monster, Bloodthirster, and Fly. The Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury starts at 16 wounds, can move 12 inches when he's 9 to 16 wounds, has Bliss skill 2 and 6 attacks. From 5 to 8 wounds remaining, he can move 8 inches, Bliss skill 3+, and 4 attacks. From 1 to 4 wounds remaining, moves 6 inches, ballistic skill of 4+, and 2 attacks. Weapon skill is always a 2+, strength 7, toughness 7, 16 wounds, leadership 10, and a 3-up save. He is a single model armed with a Lash of Khorne and an Axe of Khorne. He is demonic, unstoppable, has unstoppable ferocity and demonic ritual. He is a greater demon. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Monster, Bloodthirster, and Fly. The Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster starts at 16 wounds, and from 9 to 16 wounds can move 12 inches, ballistic skill hitting on 2s and 6 attacks. From 5 to 8 wounds remaining, he can move 8 inches, ballistic skill hitting on 4s, and has 4 attacks. From 1 to 4 wounds remaining, he has ballistic skill hitting on 6s, can move 6 inches, and has D6 attacks. Weapon skill is always hitting on 2+, strength and toughness 7, 16 wounds, leadership 10, and a 3-up save. He's a single model that breathes hellfire and is armed with a blood flail and an Axe of Khorne. He is demonic, has unstoppable ferocity, demonic ritual. He's a greater demon and a relentless hunter. You can reroll any failed hit rolls for attacks made by this model against characters. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, Demon. Regular keywords are Character, Monster, Bloodthirster, and Fly. We have our Herald of Khorne. Herald of Khorne can move 6 inches, hits on 2s by the looks of it. It's a little blurry, but looks like 2s. Strength 5. Toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a 6-up save. This single model armed with a Hellblade has demonic, unstoppable ferocity, and demonic ritual. As a Herald of Khorne, you can add 1 to the strength characteristic of friendly Khorne demon units within 6 inches of 1 or more models with this ability. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Bloodletter, and Herald of Khorne. Herald of Khorne on a Blood Throne can move 6 inches. We'll scroll down a little bit more so you can see everything. There we go. Can move 6 inches, hits on 2s, strength 5, toughness 7, 7 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 8, and a 5-up save. Herald of Khorne on Blood Throne is a single model armed with a Hellblade. It rides atop a Blood Throne and is attended by 2 Bloodletters. It has demonic, unstoppable ferocity, demonic ritual. It is a Herald of Khorne. It has a crushing impact. When a Blood Throne crashes into the foe, warriors are smashed to the ground and crushed to a paste. Each time this model finishes a charge move, roll a d6 for each enemy model within 1 inch of that model's unit. Suffers a mortal wound for each roll of a 5+. Gore Feast. If this model slays enemy models with its crushing impact ability, it recovers 1 wound lost earlier in the battle. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Chariot, Bloodletter, Herald of Khorne. Fleshhounds can move 10 inches, weapon skill hitting on 3s, strength 4, toughness 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 7, and a 6-up save. This unit contains 5 Fleshhounds. It can include up to 5 additional Fleshhounds. Up to 10 additional Fleshhounds, or up to 15 additional Fleshhounds. Each model attacks with gore-drenched fangs. They are demonic, unstoppable ferocity, and have demonic ritual. They have a Collar of Khorne and can attempt to deny 1 psychic power in each enemy's psychic phase. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, and Demon. Keywords are Beast and Fleshhounds. The Herald of Khorne on a Juggernaut can move 8 inches, hits on 2s, strength 5, toughness 5, 5 wounds, again, some of these are a little blurry, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a 4-up save. It is a single model armed with a Hellblade at the top of Juggernaut. It has demonic, unstable ferocity, and demonic ritual. It is a Herald of Khorne and has devastating charge. The sheer impact of a Juggernaut charge can crush enemies into a paste. Add 2 to the strength of the Juggernaut's bladed horn attack if the model charged in this turn. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, and Demon. Keywords are Cavalry, Character, Bloodletter, and Herald of Khorne. Bloodletters themselves can move 6 inches, hit on 3s, strength 4, toughness 3, and 1 wound. The Blood Reaper, Sergeant-type character, has 2 attacks, has leadership 7 and a 6-up save. Bloodletter has 1 attack, leadership 7, and a 6-up save. The unit contains 1 Blood Reaper and 9 Bloodletters. It can contain 10 or 20 additional Bloodletters. Each model is armed with a Hellblade. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 Bloodletter may take an Instrument of Chaos. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 Bloodletter may take a Demonic Icon. They are Demonic, Unstoppable Ferocity, and Demonic Ritual. They have Murderous Tide. Bloodletters attacking en masse are a terrifying prospect, swarming forwards to eviscerate foes with their Hellblades. You can add 1 to hit rolls made for a model with this unit whilst it contains 20 or more models. Demonic Icon. If you roll a 1 when taking a morale test for a unit that has a demonic icon, reality blinks and the demonic horde is bolstered. No models flee, and D6 slain bloodletters are instead added to the unit. Instrument of Chaos. A unit that includes any Instruments of Chaos adds 1 to their advance and charge rolls. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, and Demon. Keywords are Infantry and Bloodletter. We have the Blood Crushers. They can move 8 inches. They hit on 3s, Strength 5, Toughness 4, 3 wounds. Blood Hunter has 4 attacks, Blood Crusher has 3. They all have Leadership 7 and a 4-up save. This unit contains 1 Blood Hunter, 2 Blood Crushers. It can contain up to 3 or 6 or 9 additional Blood Crushers. Each model is armed with a Hellblade and rides a snorting juggernaut that gores the enemy with its bladed horn. 1 Blood Crusher can take an Instrument of Chaos, 1 may take a Demonic Icon. A Devastating Charge. The sheer impact of a Juggernaut charge can crush enemies into a paste, add 2 to the strength of the Juggernaut's bladed horn attack if the model charged in the same turn. They have Demonic Icon and Instrument of Chaos. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, and Demon. Keywords are Cavalry and Blood Crusher. And a Skull Cannon. Skull Cannon can move 6 inches. It hits on 3s, Strength 5, Toughness 7, 7 wounds, 2 attacks, Leadership 7, and a 3-up save. Skull Cannon is a single model armed with a Skull Cannon and crewed by 2 Bloodletters that lash out with their Hellblades. Abilities are Demonic, Unstoppable Ferocities, and Demonic Ritual. It has Crushing Impact and Gore Feast. Faction keywords are Chaos, Khorne, and Demon. Keywords are Chariot, Bloodletter, Skull Cannon. We're going to get on to our Demons of Tzeentch. So you have Kairos Fateweaver. He starts at 16 wounds. He can move 12 inches when he's between 9 and 16 wounds, has 5 attacks, and can add 2 to his psychic tests. From 5 to 8 wounds remaining, he can move 8 inches with 3 attacks and adds 1 to his psychic test. And from 1 to 4 wounds remaining, he can move 6 inches with 1 attack and has no bonus to his psychic test. Weapon skill is hitting on 3s, Bliss skill is hitting on 2s, Strength 6, Toughness 7, 16 wounds, Leadership 10, and a 6-up save. He's a single model armed with the Staff of Tomorrow, and you can only have 1 in your army. He's Demonic and Demonic Ritual. He's a Greater Demon, so friendly Tzeentch demon units within 6 inches of this model, when they take a morale test, can use his leadership instead of theirs. He can foretell. If your army is Battleforged, you receive an additional D3 command points if he is your warlord. He's a Psyker. He can attempt to manifest 3 psychic powers in each friendly psychic phase and attempt to deny 3. It knows the Smite and all psychic powers from the Tzeentch discipline. Whenever Kairos Fateweaver attempts to manifest or deny psychic power, add the bonus shown in the damage table. In addition, increase the range of the Smite power from 18 to 36 inches for this model. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Monster, Fly, Psyker, Lord of Change, and Kairos Fateweaver. The Changeling can move 6 inches. Weapon skill hits on 4s, Bliss skill hits on 3s. Strength 3, Toughness 3, 4 wounds, 2 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 6-up save. The Changeling is a single model armed with the Trickster's Staff. Only 1 can be in your army. You have Demonic, Ephemeral Form, and Demonic Ritual. He is a formless horror. When the Changeling fights, you can choose an enemy infantry model within 1 inch of it. The Changeling has that model's weapon skill, Strength, Toughness, and Attacks characteristic until the end of the phase. This is a locus of transmogrification. Friendly Tzeentch demon units within 9 inches of this model, when they are attacked, are surrounded by a twisting aura of change. Your opponent must subtract 1 from the hit rolls for attacks on the unit. Psyker, the Changeling can attempt to manifest 1 and deny 1 power. It knows Smite and 1 power from the Tzeentch discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Psyker, Herald of Tzeentch, Horror, and the Changeling. The Blue Scribes can move 12 inches. They hit on 4s, Strength and Toughness 3, 4 wounds, 2 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 6-up save. The Blue Scribes are a single model armed with a sharp quills and are borne aloft by a disc of Tzeentch that rends enemies with its blades, and only 1 can be included in your army. They are Demonic, Ephemeral Form, and Demonic Ritual. Pteryx's Sorceress Siphon. Enemy Psychers within 12 inches of the model subtract 1 from their psychic tests. If an enemy Psyker within 12 inch fails a psychic test, they cannot attempt to manifest that psychic power again in this battle, and the Blue Scribes can use that psychic power in their next psychic phase. See below, Zeratpz. It's the guy's name backwards, because there's 2 of them, and they're brothers or something, I guess. I don't get it, but the Sorcerer's Barrage. Though not a Psyker, the Blue Scribes automatically manifest 1 randomly selected psychic power from the Tzeentch discipline each psychic phase, plus any psychic powers they siphon in the last enemy psychic phase. No psychic test is taken to use these powers, and they cannot be denied. Where the result of a psychic phase test matters, the psychic power is treated as having been manifested with the minimum roll possible without rolling a double. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon. Keywords are Cavalry, Character, Horror, Fly, and the Blue Scribes. We have the Lord of Change. Lord of Change starts with 16 wounds, and from 9 to 16 wounds, he can move 12, have 5 attacks, and gets bonus 2 to his psychic test. From 5 to 8 wounds remaining, he can move 8 inches with 4 attacks, and a bonus 1 to his psychic tests. From 1 to 4 wounds remaining, he can move 6 inches with 3 attacks, and has no bonus to his psychic test. he hits on 2s, strength 6, toughness 7, 16 wounds, leadership 10, and a 6-up save. Lord of Change is a single model armed with a Staff of Tzeentch. He may take a Baleful Sword or a Rod of Sorcery. He has Demonic, Ephemeral Form, and Demonic Ritual. He's a Greater Demon, so, we have that one already. Is a Rod of Sorcery. Increase range of the model's smite power from 18 to 30 inches if it has a Rod of Sorcery. You can to manifest 2 and deny 2 psychic powers. It knows Smite and all 3 psychic powers from the Tzeentch discipline. And whenever he makes a psychic or deny test, modify the roll via the damage table. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Monster, Fly, Psyker, and Lord of Change. We have the Herald of Tzeentch. It can move 6 inches, weapon skill hitting on 4s, plus skill hitting on 3s. Strength, toughness 3, 4 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8, and a 6-up save. Herald of Tzeentch is a single model armed with a Ritual Dagger. This model may take a Staff of Change. He's Demonic, Ephemeral Form, and Demonic Ritual. He's a Herald of Tzeentch, so you can add 1 to the strength characteristic of friendly Tzeentch demon units within 6 inches of 1 or more models with this ability. He has a Staff of Change. Increase the range of this model's spite power from 18 to 24 inches if it has a Staff of Change. This model can attempt to manifest 1 and deny 1 power. He knows Smite and 2 psychic powers from the Tzeentch discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Horror, Psyker, and Herald of Tzeentch. Herald of Tzeentch on a disc can move 12 inches, weapon skill hitting of 4s, plus skill hitting on 3s, strength 3, toughness 3, 4 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8, and a 6-up save. He's a single model armed with a Ritual Dagger borne aloft by a disc that rends enemies with its curving blades. The Wargear may include a Staff of Change. He's a Demonic, Ephemeral Form, and Demonic Ritual. He's a Herald of Tzeentch and a Staff of Change. He can attempt to manifest 1 and deny 1 power. He knows Smite and 2 psychic powers from Tzeentch. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon. Keywords are Cavalry, Character, Horror, Fly, Psyker, and Herald of Tzeentch. Herald of Tzeentch on a Burning Chariot can move 14 inches. And weapon skill hitting on 4s, bliss skill hitting on 3s. Strength 3, toughness 5, 8 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a 5-up save. He's a single model armed with a Ritual Dagger and borne aloft on a Burning Chariot drawn by Screamers that attack with their slashing talons and lamprey bite. This model may take a Staff of Change. This model may be accompanied by 3 blue horrors. They're Demonic, Ephemeral Form, and Demonic Ritual. They're a Herald of Tzeentch. They have an Irritating Chant. If a Burning Chariot is accompanied by blue horrors, your opponent must subtract 1 from psychic tests made for enemy units within 9 inches of any such models. They have a Staff of Change that increases their range of smite from 18 to 24 inches. Psyker, this model can attempt to manifest 1 and deny 1 power. It knows Smite and 2 powers from the Tzeentch discipline. The faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Chariot, Horror, Fly, Psyker, and Herald of Tzeentch. We have our horrors now. So like I was saying before about horrors, so we'll read the split when we're going forward here for their special rules, but we'll just start with this. The pink horrors can move 6 inches, hit on 4s, strength toughness 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7, and a 6-up save. Blue horrors move 6 inches, hit on weapon skill hitting on 5s, strength 2, toughness 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7, and a 6-up save. A pair of brimstone horrors can move 6 inches, weapon skill hitting on 5s, have 1 strength, toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 7, and a 6-up save. This unit contains 10 pink, blue, or pairs of brimstone horrors in any combination. It can include 10 additional horrors, or up to 20 additional horrors in any combination. Pink horrors are armed with coruscating flames. Blue horrors and brimstone horrors apply Scrabble, simply Scrabble, at anyone who comes too close. Scrabble? So they put it, anyway. I feel like I can make a board game joke, but nah. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 pink horror may take an Instrument of Chaos. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 pink horror may take a Demonic Icon. They are Demonic, Ephemeral Form, and Demonic Ritual. So they are Iridescent Horror. When you set up this unit for the first time, you may select a single pink horror in the unit. That model has an attacks characteristic of 2 instead of 1. Magic Made Manifest. A unit of horrors can attempt to manifest 1 psychic power in each friendly psychic phase, attempt to deny 1 in each enemy psychic phase. However, when you do so, only roll a single d6 for the psychic test or deny the witch test, and use the result of the single die to determine the outcome. Note that this means that horrors will never suffer perils. Split. Each time a pink horror is slain, you can add up to 2 blue horrors to this unit before you remove the slain pink horror. Each time blue horror is slain, you can add 1 pair of brimstone horrors to this unit before you remove the blue horror. Replacement models cannot be placed within 1 inch of the enemy model. Note that horrors that flee do not generate extra models for their unit. So, I know it was going around before, I think I even said it myself, that you had to pay for these additional models in cost of your horrors. But the fact that you don't have to replace the horrors, you don't have to split them, is the big thing, so you don't necessarily have to pay for them. So the rule here in italics for match play: in match play you must pay reinforcement points for each and every blue and brimstone horror model that you add to a unit of horrors, but the additional models can take the unit above its starting strength. But you don't have to. It says you can replace it, you don't have to. So you can just make that plan in the models you bring in your tournament list or your point list. Demonic Icon, an instrument of chaos. Psyker, it can attempt, we've been over there, Psyker rules. Faction keywords, Chaos and Tzeentch and Demon. Keywords are Infantry, Psyker, and Horrors. You have Flamers, they can move 12 inches, weapon skill hitting on 5s, split skill hitting on 3s, strength 4, toughness 4, 2 wounds. The Pyrocaster has 3 attacks, leadership 7 and a 6-up save. The Flamer has 2 attacks, leadership 7 and a 6-up save. This unit contains 1 Pyrocaster and 2 Flamers. You can include up to 3 additional Flamers, or up to 6 additional Flamers. All models attack with flickering flames. Abilities are Demonic, Ephemeral Form, Demonic Ritual. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon. Keywords are Infantry, Fly, and Flamers. We have our Exalted Flamer. Can move 10 inches, hits on 3s, strength 4, toughness 4, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a 6-up save. It is a single model which attacks with the pink and blue fires of Tzeentch and Tongues of Flame. It has Demonic, Ephemeral Form, Demonic Ritual. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Flamer, Fly, and Exalted Flamer. Screamers can move 16 inches, weapon skill hitting on 4s, strength 4, toughness 4, 2 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 7, and a 6-up save. The unit contains 3 Screamers and contain up to 3 or 6 additional. Each model attacks with a Lamprey Bite and Slashing Talons. They have Demonic, Ephemeral Form, and Demonic Ritual, and their Slashing Attack. If this unit advances, and that move takes it over any enemy units, you can choose one of those units and roll a d6 for each Screamer in the unit. Any rolls of 6 inflict a mortal wound on the enemy unit. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon. Keywords are Cavalry, Fly, and Screamers. Getting on to a Burning Chariot, and a really nice looking Lord of Change next to it. Or possibly Kairos Fate Weaver, I'm not sure. So Burning Chariot can move 14 inches, weapon skill hitting on 4s, and bliss skill hitting on 3s, strength 4, toughness 5, 8 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, and a 5-up save. It is a single model. It is steered by an Exalted Flamer that attacks with the pink and blue fires of Tzeentch and lashes its enemies with Tongues of Flame, and is drawn by Screamers that attack with Slashing Talons and Lamprey Bites. The model may be accompanied by 3 blue horrors. Abilities are Demonic, Ephemeral Form, and Demonic Ritual. They have an Irritating Chant. Faction keywords are Chaos, Tzeentch, and Demon. Keywords are Chariot, Exalted Flamer, Flamer, Fly, and Burning Chariot. So our Demons of Nurgle, my personal favorite. Come to Papa Nurgle. So Epidemius can move. Get your hand out of the way. Can move 5 inches, hits on 2, strength 5, toughness 5, 8 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8, and 6-up save. He's a single model armed with a plague sword and born into battle on a magnificent palanquin of Nurglings that rip and tear at the enemy with their claws and teeth. Only one can be included in your army. He has Demonic, Disgustingly Resilient, and Demonic Ritual. He has a Tally of Pestilence. The Tally of Pestilence starts the battle at 0. Add 1 to the tally whenever an enemy unit, so a whole unit, is destroyed by a Nurgle Demon unit, friend or foe. And look up the result on the chart below. The results are cumulative. So 0 to 1, no effect. 2, reroll hit rolls of 1 for all friendly Nurgle Demons. 3, increase the move characteristic of friendly Nurgle Demons by 1. 4, increase the strength of characteristic of all friendly Nurgle Demons by 1. 5, increase the toughness characteristic of friendly Nurgle Demons by 1. 6, increase the attack characteristic of friendly Nurgle Demons by 1. 7 or more, reroll rolls of 1 for friendly Nurgle Demons' Disgustingly Resilient ability. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Cavalry, Herald of Nurgle, Plaguebearer, and Epidemius. A Great Unclean One, which I'm going to have to buy one of these, just because I don't have one yet. Start at 12 wounds, and from 7 to 12 wounds remaining, they can move 7 inches, bliss skill hitting on 2s and 5 attacks. 4 to 6 wounds remaining, they move 5 inches, bliss skill hitting on 4s and 4 attacks. 1 to 3 wounds remaining, they can move 3 inches, bliss skill hitting on 6 and 3 attacks. Weapon skill hits on 2s, strength 6, toughness 7, 12 wounds, leadership 10, and a 6-up save. A Great Unclean One is a single model armed with a Plague Flail and Bile Sword, and accompanied by giggling Nurglings that rip at the enemy with their claws and teeth. Abilities are Demonic, Disgustingly Resilient, and Demonic Ritual, and Greater Demon. Greater Demon, friendly Nurgle Demon units within 6 inches of this model, when they take a morale test, can use his leadership instead of their own. Psyker. This model can attempt to manifest 2 psychic powers in each phase and attempt to deny 1. It knows Smite and 2 psychic powers from the Nurgle discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Monster, Psyker, and Great Unclean One. You have the Herald of Nurgle. Can move 5 inches, hits on 2s, Strength 5, Toughness 5, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 6-up save. The Herald of Nurgle is a single model armed with a Plague Sword. It has Demonic, Disgustingly Resilient, and Demonic Ritual. It is a Herald of Nurgle. Add 1 to the Strength characteristic of friendly Nurgle demons, units within 6 inches of 1 or more models with this ability. This model can attempt to manifest 1 and deny 1 power. It knows Smite and 1 power from the Nurgle discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Plague Bearer, Psyker, and Herald of Nurgle. Plague Bearers can move 5 inches, hit on 4s, Strength 4, Toughness 4, 1 wound. The Plague Ridden has 2 attacks, Leadership 7, and a 6-up save. Plague Bearer has 1 attack, Leadership 7, and a 6-up save. This unit contains 1 Plague Ridden and 9 Plague Bearers. It can include up to 10 or 20 additional Plague Bearers. Each model is armed with a Plague Sword. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 Plague Bearer may take an Instrument of Chaos. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 Plague Bearer may take a Demonic Icon. Abilities are Demonic, Disgustingly Resilient, and Demonic Ritual. They have Cloud of Flies. Large groups of Plague Bearers attract great clouds of flies that buzz about them, obscuring them from view. This unit contains 20 or more models at the start of a phase. Your opponent must subtract 1 from all hit rolls for attacks that target them. Demonic Icon. If you roll 1 when taking a morale test for a unit with Demonic Icon, reality blinks and the Demonic Horde is bolstered. No models flee, and D6 slain Plague Bearers are instead added to the unit. The Instrument of Chaos. A unit that includes an Instrument of Chaos adds 1 to their advance and charge rolls. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, and Demon. Keywords are Infantry and Plague Bearers. Nurglings. They can move 5 inches, they hit on 4s, Strength 2, Toughness 2, 4 wounds, 4 attacks, Leadership 7, and a 6-up save. This unit contains 3 Nurgling Swarms. It can include up to 3 or 6 additional. Each model attacks with Diseased Claws and Teeth. They have Demonic, Disgustingly Resilient, and Demonic Ritual. They are Mischief Makers. When you set up a unit of Nurglings during deployment, they can either set up in their deployment zone or anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 inches away from any enemy deployment zone. They are squishable. Because of their diminutive size, Nurglings only receive the benefits of their Disgustingly Resilient ability against attacks with a damage characteristic of 1. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, and Demon. Keywords are Swarm and Nurglings. Beasts of Nurgle can move 6 inches, weapon skill hitting on 4s, Strength 4, Toughness 5, 4 wounds, D6 attacks, Leadership 7, and a 6-up save. This unit contains 1 Beast of Nurgle. It can include up to 8 additional. Each model attacks with putrid appendages. They are Demonic, Disgustingly Resilient, and Demonic Ritual. They are Attention Seekers. Beasts of Nurgle sometimes feel left out of the fun, and so bound forth to join in wherever they can. This model can perform a heroic intervention as if they were characters. Faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, and Demon. Keywords are Beasts of Nurgle. Plague Drones can move 10 inches, hit on 4s, Strength 4, Toughness 5, 3 wounds. A Plague Bringer has 2 attacks, Leadership 7, and 6-up save. A Plague Drone has 1 attack, Leadership 7, and a 6-up save. This unit contains 1 Plague Bringer and 2 Plague Drones. It can include up to 3 additional Plague Drones, up to 6 additional Plague Drones. Each model is armed with Death's Heads and a Plague Sword. They fly into battle on Rot Flies and attack with Prehensile Proboscises. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Wargear options: 1 Plague Drone may take an Instrument of Chaos, 1 may take a Demonic Icon. They are Demonic, Disgustingly Resilient, and have Demonic Ritual. They have Demonic Icon and Instrument of Chaos. Their faction keywords are Chaos, Nurgle, and Demon. Keywords are Cavalry, Fly, and Plague Drones. Let's check out the next page. Demons of Slaanesh. So our final Lord of Chaos and their units. The Mask of Slaanesh moves 8 inches, hits on 2s, Strength 4, Toughness 3, 4 wounds, 5 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 6-up save. The Mask of Slaanesh is a single model armed with piercing claws. Only one of this model can be in your army. It has Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, and Demonic Ritual. Dazzling Acrobatics. The Mask of Slaanesh can advance and or fall back and still charge in the same turn. A Locus of Beguilement. Your opponent must subtract 1 from any hit roll that targets a Demonette unit within 6 inches of this model in the fight phase. The Eternal Dance. At the beginning of each fight, choose an enemy unit within 1 inch of this model. For the rest of the phase, add 1 to any hit rolls that target the chosen unit. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Demonette, Herald of Slaanesh, and the Mask of Slaanesh. A Keeper of Secrets starts at 12 wounds, and from 7 to 12 wounds moves 12 inches, Strength 6 and 6 attacks. From 4 to 6 wounds it moves 9 inches, Strength 5 and 5 attacks. From 1 to 3 wounds it moves 6 inches, and has Strength 4 and 4 attacks. Its weapon skill is 2+, Bliss skill 3+, Strength variable, Toughness 7, 12 wounds, Leadership 10, and a 6-up save. A Keeper of Secrets is a single model armed with a Wit Stealer sword and snapping claws. Has Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, Demonic Ritual. Is a Greater Demon. Friendly Slaanesh demon units within 6 inches of this model, when they make a morale test, can use its leadership instead of their own. This model can attempt to manifest 2 psychic powers and attempt to deny 1. It knows Smite and 2 psychic powers from the Slaanesh discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Monster, Psyker, Keeper of Secrets. Herald of Slaanesh can move 7 inches, hits on 2s, Strength 4, Toughness 3, 4 wounds, 4 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 6-up save. Herald of Slaanesh is a single model with piercing claws. It is Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, and Demonic Ritual. Herald of Slaanesh can add 1 to the strength characteristic of friendly Slaanesh demon units within 6 inches of 1 or more models with this ability. This model can attempt to manifest 1 and deny 1 power, and it knows Smite and 1 power from the Slaanesh discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Infantry, Psyker, and Herald of Slaanesh. Herald of Slaanesh on a steed can move 14 inches, hits on 2s, Strength 4, Toughness 3, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 6-up save. Herald of Slaanesh on a steed is a single model armed with piercing claws, riding atop a sinuous steed of Slaanesh that attacks with its lashing tongue. It is Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, and Demonic Ritual. It's a Herald of Slaanesh and has Unholy Speed. It can advance and charge in the same turn. It's a Psyker, and it can attempt to manifest and deny 1 power. It knows the Smite and 1 psychic power from the Slaanesh discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, Demon, Cavalry, Character, Psyker, and Herald of Slaanesh. Herald of Slaanesh on a Seeker Chariot can move 12 inches, hits on 2s, Strength 4, Toughness 5, 7 wounds, 6 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 4-up save. It's a single model armed with piercing claws and accompanied by a Demonette Charioteer. They ride into battle on a Seeker Chariot drawn by steeds of Slaanesh that attack with their lashing tongues. Wargear options: this model may replace its piercing claws with Lashes of Torment. If it does, reduce its attack characteristic from 6 to 4. It has Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, Demonic Ritual, has a Herald of Slaanesh, and has Scything Impact. When a Seeker Chariot crashes into a foe, warriors are scythed down and dismembered. Each time a Herald of Slaanesh on Seeker Chariot finishes a charge move, roll a d6 for each enemy model within 1 inch. That model unit suffers a mortal wound for each roll of 6. As a Psyker, it can attempt to manifest 1 and deny 1 power. This knows Smite and 1 power from Slaanesh discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Chariot, Psyker, and Herald of Slaanesh. Herald of Slaanesh on an Exalted Seeker Chariot starts at 12 wounds, and from 7 to 12 wounds, can move 12 inches, weapon skill is 2+, and has 8 attacks. From 4 to 6 wounds remaining, it can move 10 inches, has weapon skill 4+, and 6 attacks. From 1 to 3 wounds, it moves 8 inches, weapon skill hits on 6+ with 4 attacks. The Herald of Slaanesh on Exalted Seeker Chariot has Bliss skill hitting on 2s, Strength 4, Toughness 5, 12 wounds, Leadership 8, and a 4-up save. It is a single model armed with piercing claws and accompanied by 3 Demonette Charioteers. They ride on steeds of Slaanesh that draw the Exalted Seeker Chariot and attack with their lashing tongues. Warrior options: it can replace its piercing claws with Lashes of Torment. Herald of Slaanesh, add 1 to strength characteristic of friendly Slaanesh demon models within 6 inches of 1 or more models with this ability, has Scything Impact. This model can attempt to manifest 1 power and deny 1 power. It knows Smite and 1 power from the Slaanesh discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Keywords are Character, Chariot, Psyker, and Herald of Slaanesh. Demonettes can move 7 inches, hit on 3s, Strength 3, Toughness 3, 1 wound. A Allurus has 3 attacks, Leadership 7, and a 6-up save. Regular Demonette has 2 attacks, Leadership 7, and a 6-up save. This unit contains 1 Allurus and 9 Demonettes. It can include 10 or 20 additional Demonettes. Each model attacks with piercing claws. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 Demonette may take an Instrument of Chaos. For every 10 models in the unit, 1 Demonette may take a Demonic Icon. Have Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, and Demonic Ritual. They are graceful killers. Increase the attack characteristic of each model in this unit by 1 whilst it contains 20 or more models. Demonic Icon, if you roll a 1 when taking a morale test for a unit with a Demonette icon, reality blinks and the demonic horde is bolstered. No models are removed, and D6 slain Demonettes are added to the unit. You can't go over it starting, of course, there are that many slain Demonettes. Instrument of Chaos, a unit that includes Instrument of Chaos adds 1 to their advance and charge rolls. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Keywords are Infantry and Demonettes. You have the Fiends of Slaanesh. You can move 14 inches. Weapon skill hitting on 3s, Strength 4, Toughness 4, 3 wounds, 4 attacks, Leadership 7, and a 6-up save. This unit contains 1 Fiend of Slaanesh, can include up to 8 additional. Each model is armed with Dissecting Claws and Vicious Barbed Tail. They have Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, and Demonic Ritual. They are Disrupting Song. Enemy Psychers within 12 inches of any Fiends of Slaanesh must subtract 1 from the results of any psychic tests they take. They have Soporific Musk. Enemy units within 1 inch of any Fiends of Slaanesh cannot fall back unless they can fly. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Keywords are Beast and Fiends of Slaanesh. Hellflayers can move 12 inches, hit on 3s, Strength 4, Toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 4-up save. It is a single model which carves through the enemy with its bladed axle. It is crewed by an Exalted Allurus, which attacks with its piercing claws, and drawn by 2 steeds of Slaanesh that whip the foe with their lashing tongues. Each steed is ridden by Seekers that attack with their piercing claws and lashes of torment. Been over that. The abilities are Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, and Demonic Ritual. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Keywords are Chariot and Hellflayer. Seekers can move 14 inches, weapon skill and ballistic skill hitting on 3s, strength and toughness 3, 2 wounds. The Heart Seeker has 3 attacks, Leadership 7, and a 6-up save. Regular Seeker has 2 attacks, Leadership 7, and a 6-up save. This model contains 1 Heart Seeker and 4 Seekers. It can contain up to 5, 10, or 15 additional Seekers. Each model is armed with piercing claws and rides a steed of Slaanesh that attacks with its lashing tongue. Wargear options: 1 Seeker may take an Instrument of Chaos, and 1 may take a Demonic Icon. They have Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, Demonic Ritual. They have Unholy Speed. They can advance and charge in the same turn. They have Demonic Icon and Instrument of Chaos. A Seeker Chariot can move 12 inches, hits on 3s, Strength 4, Toughness 5, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, Leadership 8, and a 4-up save. A Seeker Chariot is a single model ridden by an Exalted Allurus and a Demonette Charioteer armed with lashes of torment and piercing claws. It is drawn by steeds of Slaanesh that whip the foe with their lashing tongues. Abilities are Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, and Demonic Ritual. They have Scything Impact. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Keywords are Chariot, Demonette, and Seeker Chariot. We have the Exalted Seeker Chariot. Exalted Seeker Chariot starts at 10 wounds. From 6 to 10 wounds remaining can move 12 inches. Weapon skill hits on 2s with 8 attacks. From 3 to 5 wounds remaining, can move 10 inches. Weapon skill hitting on 4s and 6 attacks. From 1 to 2 wounds remaining, it can move 8 inches. Weapon skill hitting on 6s and 4 attacks. It has Bliss skill hitting on 3s, Strength 4, Toughness 5, 10 wounds, Leadership 8, and a 4-up save. It is a single model crewed by an Exalted Allurus. Here, scroll down so you can see it. Crewed by an Exalted Allurus, who attacks with lashes of torment, accompanied by 3 Demonette Charioteers, who attack with their piercing claws. It is drawn into battle by steeds of Slaanesh that whip the foe with their lashing tongues. Abilities are Demonic, Quicksilver Swiftness, and Demonic Ritual. It has Scything Impact. Faction keywords are Chaos, Slaanesh, and Demon. Keywords are Chariot, Demonette, Exalted Seeker, and Chariot. So now we have kind of the Chaos Demons. Not all Demons of Chaos are victims. Demon Princes, so here we have kind of our Demon Princes. These guys have no allegiance, essentially. So we have Be'lakor, can move 14 inches, hit on 2s, Strength 6, Toughness 6, 8 wounds, 6 attacks, Leadership 9, and a 4-up save. He is a single model armed with a Blade of Shadows and a set of Malefic Talons. Only 1 can be in your army. He has Demonic Ritual. He is Lord of Torment. Subtract 1 from the leadership of enemy units that are within 12 inches of Be'lakor in the morale phase. Prince of Chaos, you can reroll any failed hit rolls of 1 made for friendly demon units within 6 inches of him. He has Shadow Form. You can reroll failed saving throws for Be'lakor. Be'lakor can attempt to manifest 2 and attempt to deny 1 power. He knows a Smite, Psychic Power, and 2 powers from the Dark Hereticus discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos and Demon. Keywords are Character, Monster, Demon Prince, Fly, Psyker, and Be'lakor. A Demon Prince of Chaos can move 8 inches, hits on 2s, Strength 7, Toughness 6, 10 wounds, 4 attacks, Leadership 9, and a 3-up save. He's a single model armed with a Hellforged sword and a set of Malefic talons. This model may replace its Hellforged sword with a Demonic axe or second set of Malefic talons. This model may take a Warp Bolter. This model may have wings. If it does, its move characteristic is increased to 12, and it gains the Fly keyword. Has Demonic Ritual. He has Demonic Allegiance. When you include this model in your army, you must choose which of the 4 Chaos Gods it owes its allegiance to. Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh. It then gains the appropriate keyword. Khorne Demon Princes have the Unstoppable Ferocity ability. Tzeentch Demon Princes have the Ephemeral Form ability. Nurgle Demon Princes gain the Disgustingly Resilient ability. Slaanesh Demon Princes gain the Quicksilver Swiftness ability. Has Prince of Chaos. You can reroll hit rolls of 1 made for friendly demon units within 6 inches, but only if they owe their allegiance to the same Chaos God. Khorne Demon units are only affected by Khorne Demon Princes. Might over Magic. A Khorne Demon Prince increases the attack's characteristic by 1. A Demon Prince of Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh gains a Psychic keyword. It can attempt to manifest 1 Psychic power per friendly Psychic phase, and attempt to deny 1 Psychic power in each enemy Psychic phase. It knows Smite and 1 power from the appropriate Chaos Demon's discipline. Faction keywords are Chaos and Demon. Keywords are Character, Monster, Demon Prince of Chaos. I'll have a few more guys here. Chaos Furies can move 12 inches, weapon skill hitting on 4s, strength 4, toughness 3, 1 wound, 2 attacks, leadership 6, and a 6-up save. So it contains 5 Furies. It can include up to 5, 10, or 15 additional Furies. Each model is armed with Demonic Claws. They have Demonic Ritual, they have Demonic Allegiance, and they prey on the weak. Roll a d6 each time an enemy unit fails morale test within 12 inches of any Chaos Furies. On a 4, an additional model from the same unit is slain. Faction keywords are Chaos and Demon. Keywords are Infantry, Fly, and Chaos Furies. A Soul Grinder starts at 14 wounds, and from 8 to 14 wounds can move 8 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 4s, attacks are 3. 4 to 7 wounds remaining, it moves 6 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 5s, and with 3 attacks. From 1 to 3 wounds remaining, it can move 4 inches, Bliss skill hitting on 5s, and has D3 attacks. Its weapon skill is hitting on 4s, strength 8, toughness 7, 14 wounds, leadership 7, and a 3-up save. It is a single model, which attacks with a Harvester Cannon, Phlegm Bombardment, an Iron Claw, and a Warp Sword. This model may replace its Warp Sword with a Warp Claw. Has Demonic and Demonic Ritual, Demonic Allegiance, and if it explodes, each unit within 6 inches suffers D3 mortal wounds. Faction keywords are Chaos and Demon. Keywords are Vehicle and Soul Grinder. So next, we're going to go over the Traitor Knights. The Questor Traitorous weapon list has Carapace weapons of an Iron Storm Missile Pod, Storm Spear Rocket Pod, Twin Icarus Autocannon, and its Knight weapons are Avenger Gatling Cannons and Heavy Flamer, Rapid Fire Battle Cannon, Heavy Flamer, and Thermal Cannon. It starts at 24 wounds, and from 13 to 24 wounds remaining, it can move 12 inches, Weapon Skill and Bliss Skill hit on 3s. From 7 to 12 wounds remaining, it moves 9 inches and hits on 4s. From 1 to 6 wounds remaining, it moves 6 inches and hits on 5s. It has Strength 8, Toughness 8, 24 wounds, 4 attacks, Leadership 9, a 3-up save. It is a single model equipped with a Reaper Chainsword, Thunderstrike Gauntlet, a Heavy Stubber, and Titanic Feet. This model may take 1 item from the Carapace weapons list. This model may replace its Thunderstrike Gauntlet with 1 item from the Knight weapons list. This model may replace its Reaper Chainsword with 1 item from the Knight weapons list, and it may replace its Heavy Stubber with a Melt-A-Gun. It has an Ion Shield, a 5-up invuln save against shooting attacks. If it explodes, each unit within 2d6 suffers d6 mortal wounds, and has a Knight Titan. A Renegade Knight can fall back in the movement phase and still shoot and or charge during its turn. When a Renegade Knight falls back, it can even move over enemy infantry models, though at the end of the move, it must be more than 1 inch away from all enemy units. In addition, a Renegade Knight can move and fire heavy weapons without a penalty to its hit rolls. Finally, a Renegade Knight only gains a bonus to its saving cover if half the model is obscured from the firer. Faction keywords are Chaos and Questor Traitorous. Keywords are Titanic, Vehicle, and Renegade Knight. And last but certainly not least, well, probably least to be fair, we have the Chaos Bastions. They cannot move. They have Bliss skill hitting on 5s, no weapon skill, no strength, toughness 10, 20 wounds, no attacks, leadership 6, and a 4-up save. A Chaos Bastion is a single model equipped with 4 heavy bolters. Wargear options, this model may take an Icarus Las Cannon or Quad Gun. It is immobile. This model cannot move for any reason, nor can it fight in the fight phase. Enemy models automatically hit this model in the fight phase. Do not make hit rolls. However, this model can still shoot if there are any enemy models within 1 inch of it, and friendly units can still target enemy units that are within 1 inch of this model. It has automated weapons. It Unless a friendly unit is embarked inside the model, each of its weapons can only target the nearest visible enemy. If 2 units are equally close, you may choose which is targeted. Fire points. 10 models embarked in this model can shoot in their shooting phase, measuring the drawing line of sight from any point on this model. They can do this even if enemy models are within 1 inch of this model. Magazine explosion. If this model is reduced to 0 wounds before removing the model from the battlefield, and before any models disembark, roll a d6. On a 6, its magazine explodes and each unit within 2d6 inches suffers d3 mortal wounds. Designer's note: if you cannot physically remove this model from the battlefield when it is destroyed, because for example, it is glued to the surface, then regardless of whether its magazine explodes or not, it is wrecked. From that point on, no models can embark on it, and it can no longer shoot, etc. Transport. This model can transport any number of infantry characters and 1 other infantry unit, up to a maximum of 20 models. Designer's note: when you embark models onto a Chaos Bastion, you may find it useful to place some of them onto the battlements to remind you which units are currently in the fortification. Faction keywords are Chaos. Keywords are Building, Vehicle, Transport, and Chaos Bastion. So that's all I have for you guys for this video. Thanks for sticking around. So what do you think of Chaos in 8th edition? I think it looks pretty fun, personally. Love to hear what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys have any timestamps to add this video, please put them in the comment section below, and I may put them in the descriptions. Again, if you enjoyed the videos, like, share, subscribe, comment, do everything that lets people know that we exist. Don't forget, if you're in Medicine Hat area on the 17th, come on down to Comic Readers on Railway Avenue. We'll be having our opening day contest. We'll be playing with a lot of these models. Chaos. Well, there's not really a contest. We're just playing some games and having fun. Also, if you want to be entered in the giveaway draw, for so far, we do have our official 6th index added on as far as our monetization goes. Like I said, any monetization money that I make up to the 17th is going in for prizes for you guys. So please like, share, subscribe to these videos so we can get more money for more prizes for you guys, because we're up to a 6th index already. So we're going to give away 6 indexes and 1 core rulebook. Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to mention to you guys in this video. Have an awesome rest of your day, and remember, as always, the Emperor protects.